The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Everyone is dying to know, what does Joe B think of the Jets signing Justin Fields? Joe B's going to join us. We'll get his thoughts on the Jets offseason so far. It's the Jake Asman Show, and it starts right now.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go here on a Wednesday at 4 p.m. today. It is officially the new league year in the NFL, so deals can become official like the deal the Jets have with Justin Fields. And for more on Fields, joining us right now to talk all things Jets is the great Joe Benigno. Joe, Happy New Year, I suppose we can say to you.
So happy. I couldn't be happier. You know what I mean, bro? Forget about it. The joy is just I'm trying to stop. You know, trying to contain my excitement level.
Your thoughts on Fields, Joe? I mean, he's obviously a young quarterback. There is upside there. The options were not great, so I'm not going to sit here and go crazy and celebrate it, but I'm also at least, comfortable with the idea of that being the plan, the direction they're going with.
I mean, I don't love it. I mean, he's okay. You hit it. He's still young. He's got upside. I mean, the guy's on his third team already. I guess you get excited a little bit because he reunites with his old college teammate, Garrett Wilson. But, I mean, it is what it is. You still need a quarterback. As far as I'm concerned, bro, they got to draft a quarterback. I continue to say that. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Fields he's a terrific runner. He had a 1,000-yard rushing season with the Bears, right? He can certainly do that. Athletic ability, mobility, but he's terrible as far as a pocket passer. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is a much better thrower of the football than Justin Fields is, as far as that concerns. But, this is what they did. I like I said, he's young. I'll give the fact, I'll agree he does have an upside. Am I thrilled about it? No.
You and I both wanted to keep Rodgers. So, from that standpoint, obviously, they're not getting better, in our opinion, at quarterback with this move. But, what your hope is, Fields could do what Baker Mayfield has done in Tampa, what Sam obviously just did with the Vikings before now signing with Seattle. Like your best case scenario, he's someone with the right situation, the right environment could develop into being a really good quarterback. The thing is, we have no idea what the Jets coaching staff is. I don't know what Tanner Engstrand is as a first-time offensive player.
No idea. We don't know what Aaron Glenn is. We don't know what Darren Muhay is. I mean, we have no idea. No, we don't. I mean, we don't know what these guys. I mean, I love Aaron Glenn. I loved him as a player. But I mean, I don't know what kind of head coach he's going to be. And I really soured so much after they let Rodgers go about the Glenn hire. I mean, to me, what are you doing? And to me, that was Woody. Woody's a disaster. Let's be honest. I mean, the guy's a disaster as an owner. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, he's one of the worst owners, if not the worst owner in sports. The Jets, to me, are the worst franchise in the NFL, if not in the entire professional sports in North America. I have no confidence that they're going to do the right thing. And that's where we're at. We'll see what Fields is. They still have players on this team. It was a good job they re-signed Sherwood because, as my good buddy, he may be listening because he watches your show all the time, Ernie Acosta, my former great producer, said, I'm happy they signed Sherwood because, whether it was Demario Davis or James Farrier or Jonathan Vilma, we had all these big-time linebackers that wound up going somewhere else. And in the case of Farrier and Vilma, winning Super Bowls. So, What else could I guess? Was DeMario on that team that won the Super Bowl with the Saints? I'm not sure if he was.
That was before his time, but he made an All-Pro team with the Saints after he left the Jets.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's only been there for he's like an all-time Saint now. But it's so I'm happy they re-signed Sherwood. Don't know much about this guy, the cornerback they signed from Baltimore. They signed a safety. I forget where he was from.
He's a Long Island guy. He's from South Huntington. He grew up a Jets fan. Andre Sisco. Lucky him.
Where was he on the Niners?
He was on the Jaguars. He went to Syracuse as well.
Okay. All right. I mean, what do you want me to tell you, bro? I did right now. I still think we need a quarterback. I think we need to draft a quarterback. If somehow, some way, and I don't think he will, but if Shadir Sanders would drop to 7, we got to take him. And I'll tell you right now, because I know this Jackson Dart's going in the first round. You know he is. There's going to be 5 or 6 quarterbacks that go in the first round, no matter what they say, what the quote unquote experts who know nothing about the draft. Let's be real. Mel Kiper, Daniel Jeremiah, you name the guy. They know nothing. What do they know? They don't know any more than we do, especially about the quarterbacks. They have no idea. So when I hear that one of these guys thinks that this guy, his stock is dropping, that's the guy I want.
So Shedeur Sanders, whose stock might be dropping. Yeah.
I want the guy who the experts say his stock is dropping. All right? I'm in.
So if they went quarterback at pick 7, you'd be fine with it even post Fields, or is this 100%. Something you'd want to do in the second round?
No, I'm 100% in. Fields is not going to be the answer, bro. I mean, I agree. He's a young guy with upside, but what is he? What is he ever going to be? He can't throw the ball in the pocket. I mean, let's tell it like it is. I mean, he's not a very good pocket passer. He's a guy that likes to run, so the injury possibility is always in play with guys that like to run a lot. I have no confidence in this franchise whatsoever. And why should I?
Until they win, you can't. That said, I don't know if I want Shedeur Sanders at 7. If they're going to try and sell us on, they moved on from Rodgers because all that comes with him, and he's a celebrity quarterback. And then we're going to draft Deion Sanders' kid who's already got a podcast, and it just I just feel like that could be a disaster.
This is the stuff why they don't win. Well, he's got a podcast. We can't draft him. He's on the McAfee show. We can't keep him. No, I mean this is what you are the Jets. You haven't been through a Super Bowl in going on 57 years. You haven't had a winning season in 10 years. You haven't made the playoffs since 2010. You've had 5 straight double-digit losing seasons. You go through coaches like people go through freaking underwear. And you can actually sit there and say, well, this guy's got a podcast. I don't want him. He's Deion's son. I don't want him. I mean, come on.
You could only take him, though, if you absolutely believe in him. Because I agree with you. Signing Fields doesn't stop me from drafting a quarterback, just like the Vikings had Darnold, and guess what? They still drafted J.J. McCarthy.
Well, Darnold came up very small in the 2 biggest games Minnesota played.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think that, that actually helped it,
I don't see them doing it that early. I do think it's in play with their second round pick. And now I don't know if you saw the news because somehow no one knew that the pick the Jets actually traded in the Devontae deal was not their own. It was the Lions pick that they had. So the Jets now are picking 20 spots further in the 3rd round. So they have now 3 picks in the top 75.
Yeah. Good. Am I supposed to be excited about that? No, I'm not.
There's your quarterback pick, though, potentially in round 3. I could see it.
Yeah, of course. I'm telling you right now, if Shadir Sanders is in, they don't take him. You know he's a star. Just remember, if he's sitting there and I don't think he is because I don't think he'd get by the Giants at 3. I really don't. I mean, the Giants, maybe they're going to sign Aaron Rodgers. That's a stopgap 1-year deal if they do. I hope they do, and I hope he leads them to the playoffs, too, as a matter of fact. I would love that. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers with all the people that couldn't wait to bounce him from Florham Park. He goes over to the Giants, and he wins with the Giants. Wouldn't that be freaking wonderful? Wouldn't that be?
You could see it. And by the way, if he goes to Pittsburgh, which it sounds like.
Oh, he's winning there. I mean, that's him. And you just got a DK Metcalf, too.
Yeah.
You know Pittsburgh. That's where I think he wants to go because he knows he's not winning. He's probably not winning anything with the Giants. If he goes to Pittsburgh, he's probably a lock to make the playoffs.
Well, you know what will happen too if he goes to Pittsburgh. The Jets play the Steelers at MetLife this year, so that game's going to be Week 1, Monday Night Football. Now you could see it coming. 3 touchdowns for Rodgers and a Steelers win. You could see it and like just accept it because you know that's coming if he signs with the Steelers.
You know what? If that happens, I wouldn't even. If I was the Jets, I say we're not even going to play the game. Let's just give them the win. Why even subject the fan base to this pain that you're going to get? You know what I mean?
I can see it now, and everyone's in denial about it. But it's just like Rodgers getting hurt on the 4th play as a Jet was the most Jet-like thing to happen. That is the ultimate Jet thing to happen.
Yeah. No doubt about it. No, I'm very down on the franchise, bro. I have every right to be. You got to show me now. I'm, whatever they do, I got to figure it's not going to be right. And let's see. Let's see. I'm telling you, they got to draft a quarterback. I'm telling you, if they don't, I would even take this Jackson Dart at 7. I would take him because he's going to go in the first round. I'm going to tell you right now. Guaranteed.
What if you traded back into the first round for Dart? I don't know if he's going to go in the top 10, Joe. I think he's like maybe back half of the first round.
Well, it depends who needs quarterbacks. Who needs quarterbacks? Now, Oakland, Vegas doesn't need a quarterback anymore. They got Geno, right? So he's, they're out of the quarterback play. I just don't think Sanders will get by the Giants at 3.
Yep.
Unless the Giants trade up to get Cam Ward at 1, somehow do that, which still could happen. I think if he's sitting there at 3, that they're taking him. I really do.
Would you trade up for Cam Ward? Is he someone that you like?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Would I? See, to me, desperate times mean desperate. Show me some ball. This franchise has no balls. Let's be honest. They have no freaking balls. If you want to get anywhere, you always say, and I think it was like a commercial, but it's so true. It might have been like a life insurance commercial, but it's so true. The biggest risk is the one you don't take. And this team never takes risks. Let's be honest about it. Show me some ball. Go trade up. If Tennessee's stupid enough, because they think Will Levis is the answer, if they're stupid enough to trade the first pick in the draft, I would. I'd move heaven and earth to get Cam Ward. Absolutely. 100%.
So that would cost bare minimum, probably your second this year in addition to swapping your first. Next year's 1 and maybe another pick as well. You would do it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I would do it. It's time. And I don't like trading number 1 picks, but I at this, like I said, desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay? And the more, like I said, and the more the quote-unquote experts who know as much as you and I do don't like a guy, that's the guy I want.
The thing is, it seems like they like Cam Ward. He's like clearly moved as like the consensus top guy.
Ward, I think Cam Ward's going to be good. I mean, but what do I know? I don't know anything. But I would do that. I would move up to get him 100% if they could do it. Yes.
Here's another conversation with the Jets that's been discussed with that number 7 pick. Let's say they don't go quarterback because I'd be surprised if they do. But the tight end Tyler Warren from Penn State is there. How would you feel about the Jets using a top 7 pick on a tight end?
All right, take him. I don't care. I don't care who they pick in the 7th with the 7th. I'm at the point now, like I said, I don't give a damn who they pick. He better be the right guy. That's it.
Some other scenarios there, Joe. They could go offensive line there and solidify the right tackle spot. Disappointing to see Morgan Moses leave. He goes to New England, of course.
Of course, New England, of course.
I mean, this team better be able to run the ball is my big thing. Mm-hmm. Like the one thing you could say about Fields is the guy's an elite runner with the ball in his hands, and it should be good news for Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. They should be able to run the football.
No, he's like another running back, Fields. Like I said, he had a 1,000-yard rushing season already as a quarterback. So I don't know if I'm thrilled with an offensive lineman in the first round. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, they don't have too many. They need another receiver. So, I mean, if they took Warren, I mean, he's kind of a multi-purpose guy, too, at Penn State. So I guess I'd be okay with him. I like I said, bro, I am so down now that I'm almost numb.
This is the worst I've seen you, Joe. You're just. I've never seen you this down.
I'm so pissed off they let Rodgers go because it's so jet-like. It really is. I mean, and you listen to these writers, man. I mean, give me a freaking break. He didn't want to get hit. The guy played 17 freaking games. He played every damn game last year. He didn't want to get hit. Oh, okay. Give me a break. He played every damn snap pretty much. You know what? This is why we don't win. They should have kept him for another year. He wanted to be back, okay? All right? I don't care what anybody says. He wanted to be back. and they should have held on to him for a year. They would have had a chance to be a pretty damn good team this year. They could have, they could have drafted a quarterback then. I mean, I just am not excited about Justin Fields. I'm just not. Like I said, I do think he has an upside. I'll give him that. But, I don't think he's going to suddenly turn into Baker Mayfield. I don't see that.
Well, to your point, too, and this is part of the reason why I was pro keeping Rodgers, it also creates a huge hole in the receiver room. I mean, the Jets got rid of Devontae Adams. Right. Only the Jets could just get rid of, as you've said, just two Hall of Famers, so nonchalant. See you later.
Right. Like nothing. We don't need them. Why do we need them? They're problems. Get them out. Too much money, we don't have to spend a lot of money to go 5-12 again. Why not?
The pain, as you would say, Joe.
Unbelievable. The pain is just ridiculous. It's so bad.
Comments, questions for Joe, super chats. We'll cut the line. I was trying to explain to Joe, everyone, what ASMANIAC Madness is.
Yes.
Before the show, we got a great matchup today in our tournament, Joe. We have the number 8 seed
J Quest against SL Ted.
NY Jets, Florida Ted. Now, I want to play something for you to give you a little feel for who J Quest is, because I know you're a legendary host on WFAN. You got your start as the overnight guy for all those years.
Those were the days, bro, the overnight years.
Let me give you a little feel now for J Quest, because he called in to the current overnight host, Chris McMonagle, and asked him about a prospect that the Jets maybe should consider. Quarterback Dixon Hole.
Reed in Brattleboro. What's up, Reed?
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you, buddy?
I've been better. Having a hard time sleeping since I moved out here from Glen Oaks.
Oh, yeah?
But
I know all about having trouble sleeping, buddy.
I was calling about the Jets, but I actually had a basketball point, too, real quick, if you don't mind, about St. John. So before the season started, I made a friendly wager with my friend who's a Chiefs fan. His team is Xavier. He's a big Xavier fan.
Okay.
And he's like, Xavier's going to win the Big East this year. Put your money where your mouth is. So we bet $1,000 on that. Not the regular season, the Big East tournament. And he's got Xavier, coached by Big Cho. They got Lane Kerner, Charles Gorman, Bobby Midnight. But they're a good team, but I think the Johnnies got them. I'm hoping. Who knows?
You're hoping they get picked off on Thursday against Xavier.
Yeah, in regards to the Jets point, we need a quarterback. I get it. We've been there, quarterback hell forever and whatnot. I know a couple nights ago you were saying you would pick Sanders, I think.
Yes, if Sanders is there at 7, I would take him, yes.
I don't know. Cam Ward, 100%, I would take him. But what about this kid from Arizona State, Dixon Hole? His receivers with the Bonesy brothers, Joe and Anthony. And Jaden Daniels left LSU at Arizona State because this kid was outperforming him. The only problem is he's like an 8th-year senior because of that whole COVID thing. So he's like almost like a Chris Winkie type guy, or like Rick Kent from Brigham State. What are your thoughts on him?
I don't have real strong opinions on him. I'll be totally honest with you. I haven't broke down the film, but I'm not going to take him 7. You want to take him later? You want to take any one of these quarterbacks? It doesn't have to be him. It could be whoever you want.
All callers from this show that were referenced in that call to McMonagle on the Fan.
Right, I see.
Right. Dixon
But
Hole.
This guy doesn't exist, this guy from Arizona State, right?
He's someone to watch, Joe. You got to be on the lookout.
I'm on the lookout, all right. I'm looking out, all right.
With that said, voting is officially
I do agree.
open.
See, but McMonagle did say he'd take Sanders at 7, and they should. I'm telling you right now.
If they like him, you got to do it.
Even if they don't like him,
just don't take him.
I'm telling you, if they don't like him, all the reason to take him. Okay. See, I still have scars from the Dan Marino from 42 years ago. I have scars from my franchise being because they're so smart. They know so much, no matter who it is. No, we got this kid from Cal Davis that nobody's ever heard of. We're going to take him. Okay? We're going to take him. This is why this franchise never wins. They have no balls. Ownership has been a travesty forever, from Leon Hess to Woody Johnson. The GMs have been horrible. For the most part, the coaches have stunk. Okay? We never have a quarterback. Then when we have a quarterback, well, we don't want him. He does the Pat McAfee show. Come on. He's in the black hole. He's this. He's that. He's got baggage. And the Giants are carrying the baggage with them, across the street to sign the guy. Give me a break. I'm telling you, bro, the disgust level after 60 years of rooting for this woebegone franchise has never been more than it is now. Never. And I have no confidence in anything they do. Even though I was a little excited about Aaron Glenn, once they let Rodgers go, everything changed. It just showed me it's the same old, same old, same old. And until I see something different, it's the same old, same old, same old. That's it.
So the only thing I
I'm
will
not
change.
running out and getting the Justin Fields jersey. Don't get me one.
I will not be getting you.
Do not get me a goddamn Justin Fields jersey. All right.
Think about this, Joe. We will always have those 10 days between the Jets home opener win to get them to 2-1 and the days leading up to the Bronco debacle. Those 10 days, we will always have that.
Unbelievable. Great. It's great. It's great, Jake. I'm so happy.
Cincy Matt says, man, Joe B is down bad. Put this man on suicide watch. I've never seen you this down, Joe.
I'm not killing myself. I just wish I would never became a Jet fan. I think that of all the decisions I made, and there's been a lot of bad ones, getting married at 22 the first time. I mean, there's been a lot of bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? Being a Jet fan may be number one. I mean, because it has probably caused me more pain than anything when I think about it. When I think about the continual, my first wife, 13 years, got divorced, it's okay. That's ancient history now. No more pain there. But the Jets it's perpetual pain, it's constant pain, and the pain just gets worse. It gets worse. The older I get, the more pain I have, and it's just the way it is.
Couple quick hitters for you. What was your reaction to seeing the Dolphins signing Zach Wilson to be their backup?
Well, here's my reaction to that. My reaction to that is that they'll play the Dolphins this year. Tua will get hurt, and Zach will come in and beat them. That's what'll happen.
If he ends up being good, that will be the single thing that crushes me.
I don't think he's going to be good, but I think that the thing with Zach is you can catch lightning in a bottle in any particular game. And that if he ever winds up on a field playing against the Jets, he's going to be beyond motivated to stick it up their ass.
Sure. Hey, the thing is, though, he's going to play at some point because Tua, on average, only plays 13 games a year. Yeah. So that being their go-to backup, that's a fireable offense to go to Zach Wilson over some of the other more proven backups out there.
Yeah. Well, look at all, it's amazing, with these quarterbacks. Look at all, we talk about Fields being on his third team. I mean, Geno's on his fourth team now, right? Isn't his fourth for Geno? 4 or 3 for Geno? 3. No, the Jets, the Giants. No, 4. Jets, Giants, Seattle, and now he's on the Raiders. So
I think he was a Charger for a year too, actually, as a backup. Yeah, to Phillip Rivers at the end of his career.
So that's 5. Sam Darnold, how many teams has he been on now? This is his third team now, Sam Darnold?
Jets, Carolina, San Fran.
So he's been on 4 teams. Justin Fields on his third team. Rodgers is going to be, I know it's a little different for Rodgers because he played all those years in Green Bay. A little different with a veteran guy like that. But you look at these young guys. Baker Mayfield's been on 3 teams now. I mean, it's unbelievable when you start to look at that. This quarterback carousel. Zach Wilson's on his third team. It's nuts, man. It really is, man. Think about it. It just shows, what a big deal the quarterback position is, and how these guys just continue to hang around. And the one thing about quarterbacks, and we've seen it on so many different levels, so many different people, they hang around long enough, they finally mature, they get in the right situation, and all of a sudden they're good,
Joe, before you run, all right, I want to shift focus away from the Jets because I just hear it in your voice. The depression of being a Jet fan is beating you down right now.
What is there? If you're a Jet fan today, seriously, I don't care if you're the most optimistic Jet fan in the world. What gives you reason to think that it's going to be any different going forward? Nothing. And until I see them win, there is nothing to make me feel that way.
State of New York sports. We'll go away from the Jets. We'll start with the baseball teams.
Yep.
Mets dealing with a ton of injuries. Yankees dealing with catastrophic injuries. Cole out for the year. Stanton, who knows? Heel out for months. Your thoughts on both New York baseball teams? The Mets obviously are dealing with a ton of injuries to Alvarez and their rotation as well.
Well, I feel pretty good about the Mets. I mean, I am concerned about the pitching. I have to say, I'm not that worried about the Alvarez thing. He was out a lot last year too. The pitching worries me. I mean, Manaea's banged up to start. Is David Peterson going to be as good as he was last year? Does Senga stay healthy? Can Clay Holmes become a starter? Frankie Montas, please give me a break. Tyler McGill is probably going to be in the rotation. Maybe this guy, Brandon Sprout, this kid turns out to be something in the rotation. But, they should hit. I mean, Soto's looked great in spring training. They got a very good lineup. No doubt about it. The Mets this year could win more games than they did last year and not go as far as they did last year. I mean, when you look the state of the National League, that's a very real possibility. I mean, the NL East is loaded. The Mets, Atlanta, Philly, the Dodgers, obviously. San Diego's a good team. So, the expectation level obviously is a lot higher for the Mets. So we'll see. I mean, I think we're going to have a very good year, but they could be better in the regular season than they were last year and not go as far as they did last year. So we'll see how that plays out. As far as the Yankees are concerned, I think the Yankees benefit from the fact that they play in a very weak league. The American League is not, it's nowhere near as good as the National League.
Their odds to win the World Series did not change after the Cole injury, which tells you all you need to know.
But they still got Max Fried at the top of the rotation now. You still got Rodon there. You got Stroman, I guess. He'll be the third starter for now. Clark Schmidt. You did bring in Goldschmidt. You did bring in Bellinger. Judge obviously is still there. So, I mean, it's a weak American League. So I wouldn't dismiss the Yankees still with a realistic shot to win the pennant.
How do you feel about the Knicks, Joe?
I think the Knicks are what they are. I think they're a third seed that's probably going to get eliminated in the second round of the playoffs again. They can't beat anybody good. They not only can't beat them, they get killed. They can't beat Boston. They can't beat Cleveland. They can't beat the Lakers. They can't beat the Thunder. They can't beat the Warriors. Why would I think that they're going anywhere? They're going to win 50 games again, and they're probably going to lose in the second round of the playoffs again. I mean, for them to get to the finals, they're going to have to win a first-round series against whoever it is they should. And then, are you beating Cleveland? Are you beating Boston? They're going to have to beat both of them to get to the finals. It's not going to happen. Right now, to me, the Knicks are on and of course, Brunson is banged up, but he'll be back. The Knicks are on a collision course with a second-round playoff ouster again.
Rangers, will they make the playoffs?
No, will not. They've given me no reason to think they're going to make the playoffs. Everybody on this team, maybe with the exception of Will Cooley, is not having as good a year as he had last year. Last year, Panarin, he set the record for most points in a season by a Ranger. He had 48 goals. He's nowhere near that this year. I know he's been hot lately, and he scored goals in his last 5. Well, he had until yesterday. But he's got 28 goals. He hasn't been close. Kreider had 39 goals last year. He's been hurt a lot. He's got 18 goals. Zibanejad, I know he scored last night, hasn't been the same guy. Lafreniere has been nowhere near the guy he was last year. They traded away Trouba. They traded away Kako. They traded away Lindgren. They traded away Jimmy Vesey. They've lost 4 games in a row now. Even Igor hasn't been as good as he was last year. There's long stretches where, the other team plays in the Rangers zone for 10 minutes at a time. The power play is not what it was. I just don't think they're making it. And if somehow they sneak in, they're going to be one and done.
St. John's, can they make noise in the NCAA tournament? Who would have thought I'd be asking you about St. John's basketball?
They better. I mean, they had this great regular season. They win the Big East regular season. They're number 6 in the country. It makes me crazy. They're number 6 in the country, but all these brilliant guys, the bracket geniuses, Joe Lenardi and, whoever the hell else they are. I don't even know who these guys are. My buddy Rothstein, I love Rothstein. They got him as like a 3 seed. Well, if you're the number 6 team in the country, how the hell are you a 3 seed? And if they run the table and win the Big East, and I guess they play tomorrow, they're going to play what? The Providence Butler winning tomorrow? I think that's who they play.
Yep.
The early game tomorrow at the Garden, Providence Butler. If they win the Big East tournament, how are they not in a second seed? The Big East, it's amazing. I said this before, but I've been saying this for a while now. You go look at the Big East, okay? Since 2016, okay? And remember, there was no tournament in 2020 because of the the COVID disaster, okay? So there was no tournament in 2020. So the last in the last 8 NCAA tournament winners, half of them have been Big East teams. Villanova won in 16 and 18. Connecticut won the last 2 years. Yet this league gets no respect at all. None. They're probably going to get only 4. The SEC, which hasn't won when's the last time an SEC team won the NCAA tournament? Florida in 2007 is that when they went back to back? I think that's the last one.
Maybe Kentucky, right, with Calipari.
Kentucky, that's right. Kentucky in 2011. That's the last one. Anthony Davis, what's his name? The other guy, Gilchrist, whatever. That's the last team to win out of the SEC. Okay, so that's 14 years ago, and here they are. And I understand Auburn, Alabama, Florida. I understand all these big. They're going to have like 12, 13 teams in the NCAA tournament. And you're going to tell me that Xavier and Villanova aren't tournament teams? I mean, I don't know. But it's just amazing to me. The Big East, like I said, 4 of the last 8 tournament champions, and the Big East gets no respect whatsoever. So figure St. John's is going to probably be a 3 seed, even if they run the table here and win the Big East tournament. And then they got to do something. To me, they got to get to the Final Four. I mean, anything short of the Final Four is a disappointment with St. John's in my mind.
Wow, I see that. I mean, they haven't won an NCAA tournament game in like 25 years. I think getting to at least the second weekend wouldn't be bad.
Here's the thing: if they stay in the East, which they should, they will then play the first round in Providence, and then the regionals are in Newark at the Rock. So that would be very advantageous, but. Knowing how these committees are, they'll be a 3rd seed, and they'll ship them out to, Palo Alto or some crap like that,
You getting on the flight to Palo Alto, Joe?
Yeah, there's no flight. You couldn't pay me to fly to go to California, man. Especially Palo Alto, bro. They see me coming, they'll put me in jail out
there. Weather's been good lately, Joe. Are we back out on the golf course?
I played the last 2 days. My wife and I played the last 2 days. Did not play well, I have to say. Was not happy with my game. We're playing again Friday. I'm happy that it's golf season again. Hopefully there'll be no more snow. Hopefully there'll be no more snow. I'm probably going to get cold again. I mean, the weather's getting a lot better. It's in the 50s again today. But hopefully there'll be no more snow, and we're good to go the rest of the year now, as far as the golf season is concerned.
And have the plans been arranged for you and Aaron Glenn to play golf together?
I doubt it. That's not I don't think they'll ever allow me. I don't think the Jet organization will allow me near any Jet anymore. Especially the way I'm just assaulting the freaking organization, which deserves the assault. I mean, what else can I say? Woody, what happened to you, Woody? I need to sit down with Woody. Woody Johnson and I need to sit down. Now we do have one major thing in common, and you know what that is. Okay, all right. But I am convinced. I really think. The more I thought, somebody brought this up to me the other day, and I believe this. The reason that the big guy did not give Woody the appointment to the UK ambassador again is because he's a loser. I think that's it. Somebody said that to me. Woody's a loser. He's a loser, Woody. It's unbelievable. He's a loser. His franchise is a joke. I mean, come on. So why the hell should the big guy, why should Don have him working for him again? He's a freaking loser. Give me a break. I'm telling you, bro, I'm disgusted.
I see it. It's all real.
I'm disgusted. I want to see with Woody. Woody, come and talk. Stop. Not all these asses that hate the team that could care less. That want to see him lose forever in perpetuity, right? Forever. We want to lose forever. Let's sit down. Let's get a contingent of real Jet fans. Me and you, myself, and the great Jake Asman, a few others we can bring in there too. All right? Kenny, we can bring Kenny Scarabaggio, Tommy Keenan. We can bring Ira, whoever the hell wants to come. And let's sit down and let's talk about the state of this woebegone, disgraceful piece of shit franchise.
You know what he's going to say, though? He's going to say, I hired these people. I
want to hear it. Well, you're hiring the wrong people. Why did you let Aaron Rodgers? Here's what I was. First thing I would say to him, why would you let Aaron Rodgers go? Why? Because on the Pat McAfee show, he said something about your son firing him. That's the reason to dump the guy? Really? Because that's really probably what it is. I don't think this decision was made by Aaron Glenn. I don't buy that for a minute. This was all on Woody. Woody wanted him out. They loved him. Oh, they couldn't wait to get him. Oh, we're flying out to California as soon as he gets out of the black hole. Oh, we got Hard Knocks. Everybody's delirious. Oh, Rodgers is on Hard Knocks. Let's put the Jets on 25 night games. Let's do this. Let's do that. Right? And then they can't wait to dump. Can't wait to get rid of him. Can't wait.
What is your prediction for where Rodgers goes? Pittsburgh or the Giants?
I kind of hope he goes to the Giants so I can just stick it to the Jets right in our backyard, and then I can hear all the writers, okay, who couldn't wait to get rid of him with the Jets, sitting there saying, oh, maybe the Jets should have kept him as he's lighting it up, as he's throwing, touchdown passes to Malik Neighbors left and right. The one thing about him going to the Giants, the Giant offensive line is not very good. That would worry me a little, but I think Pittsburgh. I think he's going to wind up in Pittsburgh. Why not? Pittsburgh's got a chance. They always got a chance to win Pittsburgh because of the organization they have. They have a solid defense, and they got Mike Tomlin. So I think he'll wind up in Pittsburgh. But if he winds up with the Giants, good.
Joe, you're in a very positive mood today. I appreciate you hopping on, giving us your thoughts on the state of the team.
The positivity is flowing out of my body today.
All the love, Joe. Hopefully the golf game improves with the weather here. No more snow, and you at least have that going for you. And plug the podcast. I know you announced it. You and JJ doing a live podcast together.
Yeah, we're going to do for opening day. We're doing it April 4th at the Hackensack Brewing Company. That'll be opening day for at home for the Mets. And we'll make sure we get. Don't worry, Jake. I got you lined up already for the football opener in September. So
I can't wait. I'll bring the Justin Fields jersey. Just kidding.
Calendar. And I'm going to throw this out there, too. I'm going to try to get – I've become pretty good buddies with Mark Gastineau. Now, Mark has his issues, we all know. But there you go. Oh, I love that. That's nice. I like that. Where'd you get that? That's nice.
I got this online. It's funny you bring that up. I'm giving away a couple signed jerseys by the Sack Exchange this week on the show. We got a helmet and a jersey that I'm giving away here of each member.
Very nice. So we're going to see. Maybe we'll see if we can get not only the great Jake Asman, but maybe we can get Gastineau up for that September show when we open the football season.
That'd be incredible. I mean, we'll you got to keep the campaign going to get him into the Hall of Fame as well.
Hey, I'm you know how I feel about that. He should be in. I just got the you can't see it, but it's up on the wall here. I just got the cover from 1986 when he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated with Lawrence Taylor. Okay. Right? When they both were pretty good, right? Right? Okay.
So they showed that in the documentary, that cover.
Did they? I don't remember that. But yeah. So I got it. I got it up on the wall. Like I said, you can't see it from here. It's over to this side more. But, from 1981 to 1986, and I'm not saying, look, Gastineau was not Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player of all time. But from 1981 to 1986, they were the premier pass rushers in football. Premier. And the fact that Mark Gastineau is not in the Hall of Fame is an absolute disgrace, But when you see the hit job piece that the 30 for 30 did on the Sack Exchange, which basically was just, an hour ripping of Gastineau, this is the reason why he's not in.
Joe, ended on some positivity there too. I appreciate you hopping on. Hopefully they can win some games so we can actually see a happy Joe B. That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, bro, as I always say, don't hold your breath. And just remember, Jet fans, always remember this. I've lived by this philosophy. Expect the worst. You're never disappointed. And just remember, if Shadir Sanders is there at 7 and they pass him up, just start getting the gold jacket ready for the kid. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joe Benigno joining us there. Wow, Joe, just a rip-roaring mood today, full of positivity. Look, if they take Sanders and he's great, so be it. He better be great, though, if you're going to take a quarterback that high at number 7. That's really it. And I do wonder if he is somehow there at 7, what would the trade offers be to move back and get even more picks? If they decided that we don't like him for whatever reason, because at least you could justify it with extra picks if you're not going to take him. But if you believe in the guy, you take him. I think Joe's right there. I mean, I have some doubts on Sanders personally. I like Cam Ward way better, but You believe in a quarterback, you take him. That's it. Comments, questions, super chats will, in fact, cut the line. Joe brought up the sack exchange. We are, in fact, giving away 2 signed jerseys by each member on the show. So if you get the membership, you're entered in the raffle here. Got a signed helmet by each member of the sack exchange and a jersey signed by each of them in green and white that we're going to be giving away on the show later this week. So enter for your chance to win one of those 3 prizes. Before we get to some calls here, huge shout out to listener J Mags, who sent in this photo, or I should say his lovely wife sent in this photo to me on Instagram. J Mags repping the Jake Asman show at Little League practice last night. So I wanted to show this picture on the show this morning. So appreciate the support from Jay, who I believe is in the chat watching this live right now. Charlie writes in that Fields played pretty well for the Steelers. He played all right. I'm curious to see what the film shows on Fields. We're going to have Andrew Fialco on for a film review on Fields and the 6 games he played last year with Pittsburgh. What went well, what didn't, why did he get benched? We'll break that down. Look, I'm more open-minded to Fields than Joe. I don't think Fields is going to be the Jets' long-term answer. But to me, it's at least a logical choice among the options they had available to them. Because he's young, there is upside, and we have seen this work in the last couple of years with other talented former first-round picks at quarterback, in Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. So, best case scenario, he could be your guy. Worst case scenario, he's your backup for next year, and you're drafting a quarterback in the first round. Or, as Joe wants them to do, maybe they still take a quarterback early this year. I don't think it's going to be at 7, but I do think it could be very easily in the 2nd round, the 3rd round, or on day 3. And that 3rd round pick now being 20 spots higher than previously anticipated, that feels like a logical spot for them to go quarterback there if they like someone. Charlie says Fields 4-2 with the Steelers. Yeah, I mean, he had moments. I wouldn't say he looked great, but he wasn't awful. Here's the one thing I think Fields has going for him. To his credit, he has improved each year he's been in the league, statistically, as a passer. We know he's obviously a dynamite runner with the ball in his hands. You look at some of the advanced stats through the first 6 weeks, and there's some positive things to point to. The adjusted completion rate, which factors in throwaways, drops into the overall percentage of passing, the rushing grade, the total amount of touchdowns. I mean, he's a dynamic player. The Jets are putting a lot of faith in their own offensive coaches to be able to design an offense around what Fields does do well. You can't deny that he's an electric runner. Bang wanted to ask Joe about paying Sauce. I mean, I think they're going to pay Sauce Bang, but I didn't see this till Joe was already off the air. Rich writes in, hit the like button. Amen. Now, we played Joe the call of Jayquest pranking the fan the other night. Joe's not going to get any of the references because he has another callers on the show. But that's just one of the many things Jayquest has brought to the show. But his opponent is the pot stirrer himself. And we know Ted has certainly been involved in this show for a long time. So a fascinating matchup for those of you just tuning in here in Asmaniac Madness. But it's all Jayquest right now with over 300 votes cast. 73-27 is the score in that matchup right now. So vote, vote, vote. Congrats yesterday to the 1 seed, Bobby Midnight, on defeating Black Gypsy. So Bobby's on now to the round of 32. And giving everyone a little feel for the bracket here. We got Jayquest and Ted now. Mikey and Dre in the 5-12 this afternoon on the show as we go through the Butter region here. So this will be a fun one. So vote, vote, vote. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's get to your calls now, shall we? Chef Kevin will start us off today. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, Jake. What's up, man? How you feeling?
How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm feeling a little bit better nowadays, knowing that at least we got a quarterback. We got a quarterback that I feel like was the best available. So knowing that he does have a connection with Garrett, I feel like that's going to help keep Garrett here, and you won't really hear those rumors of him wanting to leave like that. Hopefully we can get an extension done and everything like that. I also feel like this might be a sign of us not trading up to get somebody. I feel like where we are right now, to give up a lot to get Cam. I just feel like that could hurt us a little bit. So I am in favor of getting Tyler Warren at pick 7. I really feel like getting him to help the line block in the run game and the passing game as well. Like he's somebody too, because I watch Penn State games. My boy graduated there. He's somebody that this past year was in the shotgun. He was also in wildcat formations and had a bunch of rushes. I think he had between 25 and 28 carries this season for over 200 yards, and he had 4 touchdowns. So this is somebody that could also help as a weapon in the backfield. And in high school, he was a quarterback. So in college, they then transitioned him to tight end. So he has some good fundamentals there. He does have good height at 6'6", man, 260 pounds, man. Like this is a dude that I really feel like can help us out. And plus his yak, man, the yak yard, like the dude's gonna be nice, and we need somebody for weapons. Like I get other areas where we do have some holes, especially on the defense, but with Glenn's resume, I feel like just work with what you got. See if you could pick up some other key players in free agency, also in the this day 2, day 3. See if you can find some gems out there that could really solidify your defense. But right now, when it comes to like points, production, and stuff like that, we got to go with the weapon man in this draft. And just to be able to then think about getting Cam at this point, then we would have what, like 4 quarterbacks if you include Jordan Travis. I feel like that's a little too rich for us at this moment, even though I would go crazy if we did get Cam. I feel like Warren for us right now is the safest pick. If you want to trade back in the hopes of maybe landing him and getting a couple of picks, knowing that there's a chance that we might lose on him, like I'll take that as well, and then maybe go D tackle. I'm all for that. But right now, like to be honest, I'm feeling good with what we're doing. Am I feeling great? Not yet, but obviously we got to wait until we get some wins. But I do like the path that we're going on, especially re-signing Sherwood. Like that was like tremendous for us. I was able to meet him during training camp. Couldn't have been the nicest guy, man. And I know you interviewed him too. Like the dude's he's humble. He worked hard. He changed positions too. It was different in college, and right now in the NFL, he changed the position. And for what he was able to do, man, like I really feel like we got a good guy. Did we overpay? Hey, man, it's what it is, man. We're paying for production. We're paying for leadership. We're paying for one of our guys. So I thought we
That's
did.
the guy you want to pay. You know, he's one
I'm
of
with
your
you,
own.
man.
Sends the right message to the locker room. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that is a big move they made getting that done. It is to me a no brainer by the Jets to lock up Jamie and Sherwood. Kevin, I'm with you. I am curious what it means for Quincy. He's in the last year of his deal. Are they going to redo his deal now and extend him? Or could he be on the trade block? He's 29. Are you going to give him another contract or a 2-year extension? So I'm fascinated by the ripple effects on that because Quincy's underpaid now when you look at the linebacker market. He signed that deal
Correct.
a couple of years ago and then became an all-pro. So do they extend him and give him a raise to keep him happy? They have the financial flexibility to do that. But I agree with you. They need a weapon, though, man. And the longer this goes in free agency where they're not adding anyone of note, and it's not like there's great guys out there anyway, that number 7 pick should be tight end or receiver in my mind at this point.
That's right. Because with losing Rodgers, we all knew that we were going to lose Adams as well. So losing Adams, like obviously that hurts our wide receiver room. And then knowing about the depth that we have at tight end, man, like last year, all right, Conklin did a good job catching it, but he didn't really have too much yak, man. Like he would catch the ball and then there wouldn't be any moves or whatever. So I feel like with Warren, you could spread him out. You could bring him inside. Dude, the Wildcat, he scored 4 rushing touchdowns as well. Like, and this was his first time doing it in the offense last year. In 2023, he didn't even have 1 carry. So for him doing this for the first time in college or whatever, I feel like he has a really good upside. So, looking forward to that. And then it's like looking at the wide receiver room too. Currently, right now, what do we have? A lot of those free agent wide receivers are already gone. So the cupboard is really bare at this moment. So if we can go for a wide receiver as well, I'm definitely in favor of that. And then just because I haven't called in a week or so, um, I just wanted to say congrats to Bobby, man. I think Bobby, it was a tight one yesterday, man. He just snuck it through. Just be on your A game, Bobby. That's the best thing that I could say for you was just make sure you're doing the right thing. Don't try to ruffle anybody's feathers. Just try to do the right thing. Stay on the right path, man. And shout out to Jay Quest, man. I like Ted a lot. I know he's a pot stirrer and all that, but it's all in good fun. But Quest, man, he's legendary for that call, man. Just last year too with the Knoble stuff, man, and this year, dude, I couldn't even like dream or script something as good as what Quest did, and he was just on the fly, just as quickly as he did it, the cadence and all that stuff, man. He's a legend in this Asmaniac world, man, for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, Kevin. I don't know if you caught the end of the show. It was close for a little bit, but then the one seed dominated at the end of the day, 57-40. So at one point, it was 55-45 Black Gypsy, but Bobby, he powered his way through with a big second half and pulled away.
That's right. That's right. And I like Black Gypsy. I think he's a quality caller. He's not a volume caller. He calls in a couple of times, but when he calls in, he does make some good points. I was fearful about him and that a-hole gauntlet or whatever. That was quite a sight, man. And Gary and Alan, they held their own too. But Gypsy, he was one of those dudes that I could see him making some noise next year if he kind of keeps up with the call and whatnot. But
Amen.
yeah,
Amen.
I'm a run man. St. Pat's this week, coming up. The festivities have been kicking off. St. Pat's is on Monday, and we're expecting a busy turnout. So I appreciate everything you're doing, man. Looking forward to the brackets. Looking forward to more of your content when we find out some more people that we sign. Salute to you and everything you do, brother.
Chef Kev, appreciate the call as always. Awesome call from Chef Kevin there, who's coming up in our tournament. When we get to the Lane Train region, I believe. Chef Kevin, or actually it might have been the Butter region. Let's see. Where's Chef Kevin in this tournament here? My eyes are not working. Is he playing Snowball in the 6-11? I was right, in the train region. So that'll be a good one. More calls right now. Let's check in with someone who's competing in Asmaniac Madness right now. The pot stirrer, NY Jets, Florida. Ted is on the line. Hello, Ted.
Jake, good morning. How's it going?
What's up, Ted? How are you?
I'm good. I called to concede to Jay Quest. I mean, who's going to overcome those wonderful calls about phantom players? The only thing I could come up with, though, because we were going to do something together, but the Chris McMonagle call kind of stabbed me in the back. So I'm going to go rogue, and I have some notes here.
Okay.
So Jay Quest was my friend. A true pot stirrer. Hi, everybody. A true pot stirrer would not be calling about his buddies. So I went through the 64 so-called Asmaniac list, came up with a couple of comments on a few people, notable people. So here we go. Jay Quest, great call to a clueless Chris McMonagle. Jake, please, no more first-round tight end busts. Johnny, somewhere between Phillip Rivers and Antonio Cromartie that we know of. That's basically his kids, the quantity of kids that he has. Alan, the rabbi, yes, took the kibosh to Alan's YouTube career. Bobby Midnight was on his period until Gary's carnivore diet increased his testosterone level. Dre, Lowski, Phenom, Doug on the couch, B-Man, Bonesy, out of the witness protection program. Welcome back. Hamburger, Eddie Vedder wannabe until he sang. Peter Castro, OG, would love to hang out with him, handle the money in his family until his $499 super chat. Rob from Glenhead and Neil, overinflated egos, no self-awareness. Rodgers apologists. Neil, hundreds of bloviated, horrendous Jets takes, and please keep your shirt on. Lane Train, only one seed with a job. Peacebreaker, the most unathletic person trying to be athletic. I got a few more. Ricky NY, welcome to 2025 with new invention called Wi-Fi. Midnight, strongest vocal cords ever recorded on a human being. Robert C, subtitles for the national anthem, please. Sarah and Craig from Australia, it's appropriate that you come from down under because Craig's business is located down under men's scrotums. Charles Gorman, only 10 more years till you can star in your autobiography, 40-Year-Old Virgin 2. Request, good luck against Bobby. That's what I got.
That was good, Ted. I like the roast of everyone. Well done. Well done. You ran into a buzzsaw, Ted, but that is a valiant effort there.
I mean, you know, pot stirrer can't go down. You know, the pot stirrer's got to give you something back. So, you know, that's all I got. Jay Quest, good luck against Bobby. Oh, I'm still there. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Jay Quest, good luck against Bobby, but you know, we'll see how it goes.
Ted,
thank you, Jake.
Excellent job, Ted. I like it. A little roast of some of the people in the tournament. Holy Asmaniacs. Very funny. Boom, roasted. You had to throw that in. That's the only thing you're missing. You went full Michael Scott. Boom, roasted. Love that. Now, Ted's a great caller, but man, I mean, Jay Quest is on quite the run. And it's not even just the prank video of Dixon Hole the other day on the radio. I mean, Jay Quest's video that he sent in on the Selection Sunday show of him finding out he got in the tournament was hilarious too.
Guys, I'm really nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen if I don't get in.
We might lose the house again.
I know it's gonna be the third time, but let's just see. It's about to come on. Let's see what happens. Look at the screen. Look, it's about to come on. 2. Yeah!
Ah, so good. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. If you tuned in for Joe B, he was in a very positive mood. Not for the first 40 minutes or so of the show. So rewind if you want to hear Joe's full thoughts on Fields, the draft, getting rid of Rodgers, all that and more. I have posted the call-in link for those of you who want to call in. It's pinned in the comments. So check that out. Make sure you vote in ASMANIAC Madness. And we haven't received any channel memberships this show so far, but we're still accepting entries into the next ASMANIAC raffle this week. It's a signed Sack Exchange jersey, signed helmet by the Sack Exchange, and another jersey by each member of the famous New York Sack Exchange. So gift away for your chance to win. $20 super chat will get you 5 raffle entries. More calls. Let's say hello to Venom AD, who's next. Hey, Venom.
Hey, how's it going, Jake? Long time no talk. I've been paying attention to the show, but I haven't called in a while. I've been kind of biding my time and trying to let things kind of play out. But I got to say my piece on Aaron Glenn and Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields. Look, I agree with Benigno that it was Woody who got Aaron Rodgers out of here. I'm sorry, but Aaron Glenn comes in and you're going to tell me you're going to be competitive, but you downgrade the quarterback position. You downgrade your wide receiver room. So now you got Garrett Wilson, who's going to be doubled all year long. You got a quarterback who can't throw. Now, this is a guy, everyone keeps saying upside, upside, upside. I'm sick and tired of hearing that damn word with this kid because he hasn't proved anything. If anything, he's proved he's not an accurate passer. All he can do is run. He can't read defenses. He's played 4 years in the NFL. Now, granted, it wasn't a full season last season, but Pittsburgh was on a winning streak and then benched the kid. That tells you everything that you need to know because when they went on their losing streak, they didn't put him back in. So I have no faith in Fields. I think Fields sucks. And everyone talks about, well, oh, he's a bridge quarterback. You had your bridge quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers was the best available guy. I don't care what anybody says.
He was. He definitely was.
This past season, the biggest problem with the Jets was, well, this roster is super talented. It's just the coaching sucks ass. And we all agreed. I totally agreed with that. They had no offensive coordinator. They had no game plan. They had nothing. It was just so disorganized. And with this staff coming in, I was hoping, hey, we'll keep Rodgers. He's willing to rework his contract. He's willing to learn a new system. Devontae was willing to stick around and play with his buddy. This was a perfect scenario to, if you wanted to take a chance on a quarterback this year. For example, if you look up Kurt Benkert, okay, if you look at his YouTube channel, he's been going over these quarterbacks. One of the quarterbacks that he likes is Jalen Milroe because he believes that his issues are technical that can be done with coaching, can be fixed with coaching. If you wanted to take Tyler Warren in the first round, which is what I think they should do, because we got a hole at right tackle and this kid can help block. And the Lions' philosophy was they use tight ends like additional blockers as an extension of the offensive line. You take Tyler Warren, you take Milroe later in the draft, you have him sit behind Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Famer, and let him learn, and you groom him along, and you can still be competitive. Don't tell me you're going to be competitive, and then you get rid of the best available option at quarterback.
That is what they have to try and overcome and sell to the fan base, because a lot of fans feel like you and Joe. It's like you're going to say you want to win now and going forward, and the best available quarterback option was a guy who wanted to stay here, take a pay cut, and allow you to have a lethal 1-2 wide receiver punch, because then you keep Devontae too in that scenario. But they're not getting better necessarily at quarterback, but there's a way to get better by having a real offensive scheme that maximizes the talent that still is here, especially Fields' ability now to run. The defense has to be better. The coaching overall has got to be better. They got to get a real kicker. Like, they should be able to win more than 5 games, but it's their ceiling is not as high, I don't believe, without Rodgers.
I'm sorry. I'm not convinced they're going to win more than 5 games this year, not with this quarterback.
I wouldn't pick them to win that much more right now. I'm just saying, like, people want to give Glenn the benefit of the doubt, which I get it. He's never coached yet, but once again, it's another first-time coach, first-time GM, first-time play caller, so no one knows. All these people who are shitting on Rodgers, you're all going to feel really dumb if the Jets suck and he goes somewhere and it plays well. So prepare yourself.
Touche. And you know what? You can also say the same thing about my comments that, hey, I don't know. I can't predict the future. Who knows? Maybe Fields does, something clicks and whatever. I doubt that. I play the odds. I don't think this draft is a good draft for quarterbacks. I think next year is really the draft that we should be looking at. And even though we can't guarantee where we'll be picking, but you increase your odds if the draft class is better. So I think that, in all honesty, I think what their plan is, look, we'll move on from Rodgers and Devontae. We'll focus this season on evaluating the roster during the year, building up guys, getting key pieces that we want, and then hopefully we'll get our quarterback in 26. I truly believe that was really what the plan is. Obviously, they can't say, hey, guys, we're going to suck this year. They're not going to say that. They're not going to admit. I'm not going to say they're tanking. They want to be competitive, but not necessarily win games is the way I think that this is going. And it's going to be really hard to build a culture of winning when you're not winning games. So I'm sorry, but their actions totally contradict everything that they're saying. As for the Asmaniac Madness for today's matchup, I don't know. I was going to go with Jetcast, but after Ted's call just now, I think he just got my vote.
Wow. Well, he needs it because he's down 70-30, so he's trying to mount the comeback.
Well, I'm going to vote right now. And Jake, thank you for giving me the time to vent, man, because this has just been frustrating the hell out of me.
I get it, Venom. Good call. Look, whether you agree or disagree with Venom, he's a fan like everyone else and just wants to see this team win. I get it. I would have kept Rodgers. I made that clear if you watched the show. But I'd be the first to say I at least like the Field signing because there's some upside. There's hope. We had no hope post-Rodgers if they signed any of these other quarterbacks. The only hope would have been if they drafted someone in the first round. C with a super chat. Would be nice if the Jets made some moves today. Maybe a signing, possibly some extensions. I'm getting bored. Yeah, look, I think the extensions we're talking about, C, won't happen till either before the draft or right after the draft, if you want to talk specifics about like Sauce or Garrett. But they do need to make some signings. Now, they don't need to rush. Like, it's free agency. It takes time. They'll make some moves. Today will be probably about Rodgers because I anticipate him signing with the Steelers or the Giants today. Knob Craft. All the guys who keep making us think about wanting to keep Rodgers are the same guys who think they could still ball past age 40. Ice up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're stupid enough to make the same comment that I'm going to highlight here in the chat, we're going to send you right to the hole because I just don't have patience for stupidity. It starts with this one from K-Stacks. We won 5 games with Rodgers. Jared B. We won 5 with AR. 3 siblings. 5 wins with Rodgers. They also won 5 games with Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. Should we get rid of them too? It's almost like to be a good football team, you need more than just a competent quarterback. It's almost like you need coaching, which the Jets had none of. You need league average field goal kicking, which the Jets had the worst in the league last year. It's almost like you need a defense to remain elite after it was elite the last 2 years until this year it was in the bottom 3 in every major category, especially after they fired Robert Saleh at 2 and 3. So you could tell me they only won 5 games with Rodgers, but they won 7 games with Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian. Does that mean those guys were better than Aaron Rodgers? Did you watch the games? So the laziest argument you can make on why they had to get rid of Aaron Rodgers is because they only won 5 games. Justin Herbert's last year before Jim Harbaugh got there, he was a part of a team that also won 5 games. So please, you want to argue it's time to move on from Rodgers? I'll listen to that argument. It's a fair argument. But if you want to tell me they should do it because they only won 5 games, then guess what? You're being sent to the hole immediately because you don't know how to have any nuanced conversation about NFL football. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Yo Holmes says, Jake, now upset at facts. Rodgers won 5 games. Yo Holmes, I hope you enjoyed today's show. But guess what? We'll see you later, man. Farewell. Sit back and soak it all in because we won't be seeing your dumbass comments in the comment section anymore. And by the way, you could pay a bounty of $1,000. I'm turning it down. You're in the hole today. You're in the hole. You 5-win police out there. 5 wins. We had to get rid of them. Hey, congrats, Chef Edge. We're cap space champions. I got fitted for my ring the other day. All right. We had to get rid of Rodgers because of the cap. Remember, the cap that goes up 20% every year, and chances are likely going to have a rookie quarterback on their books next year playing. So, of course. Smoke Champ, thank you very much, sir. You are a channel member. You're in the raffle for 1. First person to be entered in the raffle today is Smoke Champ. Appreciate that. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Thunderlips. Hello, Thunderlips.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
What's up, Thunderlips?
Looks like you're going scorched earth right now on everybody.
It's a pretty calm scorched earth because I've done the cap space champ rant, the Rodgers rant. I'm so tired of the 5 wins. We got to move on. As if like year to year, things don't constantly change in the NFL.
Right. Yeah, I want to touch on a couple of things that Joe said, but first I wanted to just say, like, Bobby Midnight is such a good older brother We all need a brother like that. He went out and got Mikey a computer just so we could have better internet. So when he calls, he's not in a blender like Beast Breaker. So, Bobby, you're a good older brother, bro. So, anyway, so with Benigno, he was talking about, about all the quarterbacks having success on their second teams and stuff. And it kind of like made his own point or contradicted himself because he doesn't want Justin Fields. I don't think.
Right. There's at least a whole look. Do I think Fields is the guy? No, but like Joe's bringing up these guys that are bounced around that have had success. That's why there's some hope that a guy like Fields, who just turned 26 and has flash, could be one of those guys.
100%. And it's like, there wasn't anybody great on the scrap heap. So I mean, we're talking about the same stuff all the time, but he could have success. We could unlock him. It's just that what if, and that's what gives everyone hope right now. Something else he was talking about with like Woody. I mean, like, yeah, I don't think I've ever talked to a Jets fan who was like, yes, Woody Johnson's the best owner. But I mean, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but at least he's trying, you know what I mean? Like, he's making moves. He's failing at those moves, but he's trying to do shit to win now. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing everything that, possibly he can. He wants to make money. No one, he's the owner. He doesn't want to fucking lose every year. He wants people in the stands. He wants people to re-up their season tickets, which it seems like, in the chat, a lot of people have not done,
Yeah. I mean, there's been very few people that have renewed, is my understanding, relative to what has been. We got a couple, like, I know there's some that have called in, like Nate, parentheses Nate, for example, who has renewed his tickets. It's just, it's tough to really be excited about this team right now, but Fields does add a little more excitement to it because there's that chance he could be the guy. And, you watch him play. He's going to be a fun quarterback to watch play when he's out there running around making plays with his legs.
For sure, yeah. So, and with that, my last question for you. So, I mean, Milroe, he had 700 and something yards rushing last year. He seems kind of like this, not the same mold as Fields, but he's more of a rusher than a pure passer. Is that someone now in the third round, now that we have that higher draft pick, that maybe we could snag, and maybe obviously he's a project quarterback, put him under Fields maybe to learn, and, always next year snag a quarterback too, but double dip. I mean, you never know. It could be like Jalen Hurts had to sit for like, a year or so and kind of like marinate to kind of get better. I mean, I would take the shot, especially in the third round. We suck.
I like that. Milroe is a developmental choice. I like that. I don't hate that at all. I think it makes a lot of sense.
All right, bro. Hey, great show as always. Keep doing what you're doing.
How's it going with the wife, Thunderlips? Is she starting to come around on the show?
She, it was funny last Friday, whatever, when you read that, when you went full screen and read that, like directly at her, she was laughing, like, but the thing is, she doesn't want to be on a camera. I mean, Bobby saw her, and every time I talk to Bobby, he's like, your wife's beautiful, which I already know, you know what I mean? But I make sure that, that she hears that in earshot, you know what I mean? But
well, look, you know how Bobby could be with the ladies, so just be careful.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all right. He could print the picture up and put it in his room. I don't care. All right, bro. You have a good one.
Thunderlips, appreciate the call, man. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. If you're watching live right now, hit the like button. There's almost 600 of you in here, but there's only 239 likes, so the math is not mathing. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Neil, who joins us next. Hello, Neil.
What's up, Jake? Oh, boy, Joe B is
full of positivity.
Wow. He once called me the most positive Jets fan ever back in the day when I predicted the Patriots were going to beat the Jets would beat the Patriots in the playoffs, and they did. I was on his show, and the fan, like every day for 2 weeks. And when we won that game, boy, I had a great victory Monday, and he couldn't believe it. I mean, that was the shocker of the last 15 years, us winning that game after they trashed us in 49-3 or something in the Monday Night Football game that year. That was 2010. But anyway, BJF had a show earlier on Shuck. I talked about him based on what I heard from Cosell, And the one thing BGF made mention of that made sense is, if we're going to get a quarterback, this, Shucks played a lot of years. He's 26 years old. He's the kind of guy that could come in next year and, doesn't really need as much development. When you see quarterback development and the New York Jets, it just doesn't, the two don't go together. I mean, we never develop quarterbacks, Jay.
That has to change. I mean, the Fields, the guy they have to develop if it's going to work.
I know, but this guy, Shuck, we might not need to develop him as much because he's mature. He's played a lot of football. Does that make a little sense? I think BGF made some sense with that pick.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, why is he not projected to go in the first round then if he's ready to play? Like, he's played a lot, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a franchise quarterback.
Well, I'm saying he might be the best of the second tier guys that, in other words, we might be able to get him in a third or fourth round. And
it's a crapshoot. If they took him, I'd be fine with it. I don't know enough about quarterback scouting to have a strong opinion one way or another because the guys who do it for a living are wrong all the time too.
Yep. One thing I will say is, again, like last year at this time, it's the same frustrating bullshit where we're at Target, where everybody else is shopping at Bloomingdale's. I mean,
not
look
really
at this.
though, Neil.
Come on. Look what the Pats did. Let's go through the numbers. Pats, D tackle.
They had more money than any team, though. Who cares?
Well, Buffalo, how much money did Buffalo have? They didn't have a big cap, and
what have they done? They signed an aging pass rusher in Bosa, who might be good for 6 games till he's hurt. What have they done? They re-signed some of their own.
They paid $80 million for their edge.
You're upset that they signed Josh Palmer? It's free agency, man, and it's a bad free agent class. I'm fine with the Jets not spending crazy on some guys.
They signed Bosa too. I'd be a little excited if we had an edge with Bosa for $12 million. It's something, Jake.
I get it, but that doesn't fit where the Jets are. Like, it doesn't make sense to sign.
So
Bosa.
We're better off having a bunch of holes in our roster.
They're only holes for now. Have the Ravens signed anyone? They signed DeAndre Hopkins to a 1-year deal for $6 million.
Yeah, but the Ravens were a playoff team already.
Yeah, but the Jets aren't going to be a playoff team in all likelihood, Neil. So
come on! I gotta hope that I will never.
We love these names, and they come to the Jets and they suck. Dalvin Cook, Tyron Smith, Mike Williams, Hassan Reddick. Let's take a step back and sign guys who are 25 to 27, like they've done so far, that actually have some upside, and maybe we find the next John Simpson again or DJ Reed. Those are the type of signings they need to make, not the brand names. Do they need to sign a tight end and a receiver? Yes, but free agency is just getting underway here. Most of the league hasn't signed anyone either. Look at the amount of players that are still available.
No, I'm only doing this because last year when I did it, we signed Tyron.
It didn't work. It was a disaster.
I know it was a disaster, but I'm trying to mentally get the team started on the free agency, to get some names out there, You know what I'm saying? It's like a kickoff here. I'm trying to kick off the free agency by complaining about it, that we don't do anything, and then we're going to sign some guys. We'll be all right.
I mean, look, they signed the best available quarterback that was there for the taking, I think. They re-signed Jamie Sherwood, who probably would have been a top 5 free agent if he hit the open market. So, they kept one of their own, and they signed the best option at quarterback. Like, it's tough to really complain so far when we're just getting underway.
I really enjoyed, Ted, call me, what do you call me? A bloviating opinion guy or something? Boy, he had some nice things to say about everybody. Boy, oh boy.
He's the pot stirrer.
He is such a shit stirrer, I'll call that, not a pot stirrer. And I could say that word, right? That's not like a bad word.
Why not? Fine.
All right. So, I mean, what's not the end of the world? But, listen, takes, everybody has one. And when everybody keeps trashing age, okay, as a precursor to performance, you got to realize something, all right? The 40-year-old quarterback of today is like the 34-year-old quarterback 10 years ago. Because the way these guys take care of themselves, the way they don't get, quarterbacks don't get beat up like they used to. And for any of these young kids, go back and look at film from 15 years ago and see the beating some of these quarterbacks took when there were, you can't believe it. Guys would get smashed blindside, full speed. Their necks would go like this, and they wouldn't even call personal foul with that stuff. Today, you touch the quarterback's helmet and it's 15 yards. These guys, I'll give you a perfect example. It's not a perfect example, but Flacco, right? He played for us. He stunk because we had no offensive line. Then he goes to Cleveland, okay? And 5 games with Cleveland, he threw 13 touchdowns and 1,600 yards the year after he left us. Okay? So age is irrelevant. If anybody keeps telling me again that Rodgers is 41 years old, just watch what happens this year. I'm telling you right now, he's going to have a great year. I agree with Joe in that perfect scenario, and I know you believe it too.
We're going to play well. Yeah, I think he's going to play well. I think he's still capable of being a good quarterback.
Yeah, and that would have been, I know we don't have many choices, but he was in our building, and we let him go. And we let Devontae go too, which I loved seeing Devontae catch the ball and make 5 yards after every time he touched it. And now we're talking about keeping Allen Lazard. Oh boy, am I going to be excited with that one, watching him drop balls over the. Is that a possibility, or am I real dreaming?
Allen Lazard is not going to be on the Jets.
I heard he might still be, because where are we at now?
He's waiting for Rodgers to sign with a team, and the Jets are going to end up releasing him, and I'm sure he'll go there.
Okay. So anyway, good call. Look, Joe is, taking a lot of air out of us here. Let's get positive. Let's see what happens and I'm here. I'm all ears. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm not gonna trash the season and think we're gonna be for shit. But I want playoffs this year. That's all I want. I don't think that's a big decree. Not with the roster we had last year and what we can do this year. Better coaching, better discipline. We could be a playoff team like anybody else can.
That should be the goal. That should be the goal, or at least a winning season, Neil.
Right.
At least winning nine games, 9-8. Like, that should be the goal.
I'm with you. Let's get it. I'll give Fields the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what happens. And like I said, we're going to see a lot of running. We're going to see a different scheme, and hopefully that scheme will end up causing some excitement. What about the kicker? What are we doing with our kicker? What are we going to do with Greg the Leg, and what's going on with that? What are you thinking there?
Greg the Leg will be cut, and they're having open tryouts to be the kicker.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
And Nick Folk's a free agent. Can we bring the folk hero back? He's still really good, right? There's some kickers out there. Let me see who's left. Nick Folk, Matt Prater, Eddie Pinero. Bring back Austin Seibert, who should have been the kicker this year anyway. Joey Sly, Riley Patterson, Michael Badgley. Greg Joseph finished with the Jets. Thunderlips. Age is relevant. R. Kelly and Neil. Age is irrelevant. R. Kelly and Neil. God. Dan with a super chat. Can we sign Cooper Kupp as our wide receiver too? I mean, look, Cooper Kupp, I think it would be a scheme fit because he's a really good blocker. So he'd help there. I don't know if the Jets want to invest in a guy, though, that is going to be 32 this year and has just struggled to stay healthy, really, since that Super Bowl season. Since he had the 2,000 receiving yard season where he won the Triple Crown. He played in 9 games the next year, 12 after that, 11 this past year. I guess 12, but he only started 11. He got hurt in one of them. I mean, if you're getting Cooper Kupp on a 1-year deal to be your number 2 receiver, I mean, okay. But it depends on the money. Like, if you got Cooper Kupp for 1 year and like $4 million, $5 million, like what did D-Hop sign for with the Ravens? But Cooper Kupp wants to come here. I don't see it. But he's a good locker room guy. So, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have at least one veteran. I still think the Jets are going to end up signing Tim Patrick. Yeah, there's some other names that somewhat intrigue me, I guess. I'm surprised Lockett is still available. I thought it was a sure thing he was going to go be reunited with Geno and Pete Carroll. Tyler Boyd, maybe, for the Jets. Hey, Mecole Hardman and Elijah Moore are free agents right now. Should we bring them back? It's not a great free agent market, obviously. More calls right now. The Lump Man's on the line. Hey, Lumpy.
Hey, how you doing, Jake? How's it going?
What's up, Lumpy?
I haven't called back since Leany, I guess, destroyed me or beat me. So now I have to give my allegiance to Leany, tip my cap, give my allegiance to. It's like what happened when a country takes you over, right? You gotta
bend the knee
to the queen. Okay. Sorry, Neil, I love you, but I'm gonna have to vote for Leany when it comes up because she beat me because you want the person to beat you to win everything. So with that being said, Fields, I know it's not your first option or mine, but definitely positive. I feel positive about it for some reason. I don't know. I didn't think I would feel this positive. I guess because he's young, he does have an upside. I never really, it was a little narrow-minded. I wanted Winston. I wanted someone to throw down the field. With that said, we're looking to do that like a wildcat kind of offense. Hopefully they'll use him to his strengths because he is a great athlete. Which comes to the draft, we're going to have to get that tight end Warren because they'll keep the linebackers at bay at least. If not, he's going to run free out there. And that'll be an easy, dump off pass to him for, 7-8 yards. And that'll be a good go-to when we do that. So, and this is also a great draft, I think, where we can fill a lot of the holes because we have a lot of holes in this team. The offensive tackle position, safety we need. I think we're going to do a lot of that before we go and re-sign our people too as well. We want to see what we get and what we need to get out of free agency as well. So what do you think? Well,
it's a good draft for some of the Jets' holes. Strong at tight end, strong at defensive tackle. So like that to me is like a positive. And the other thing is too, it's not a star-studded receiver draft, but from my understanding is there's solid depth in this draft in the second and third rounds in those spots. Yeah. So, the Jets could maybe address it there.
My biggest fear is Shador falling to 7, and we're on the clock. That is –
look, people would say take him. I know Benigno was like take him. To me, I would listen on what I could get for that pick and see if I can move back and get a bunch of extra picks. Give this regime a year to get some more players on this roster, fill it out their way, see what you have in Fields for a year. And then with some of these extra picks I have, I'm assuming some of them might be in 2026. I'm now in position where if I like a guy next year, then I go make my move if it doesn't work out with Fields to get my quarterback.
Yeah, it does seem like Fields is not really there 100%. They only did 2 year deal with him. You got to think about that. So they still want to see what they have. My question is they have to get somebody to develop within this year or next year, right? It's the 2 years is only a comfort zone really for a year, if you think about it. So I'm just a little worried if Shador does drop there, if we're not going to address the needs we need to build a full team. That's my concern. Guy could be great. You don't know. But he's been great behind half of or 3/4 of an offensive line. So hopefully they trade back and get some players to get this team as a full team. But I'm a little more excited than I thought it'd be.
Hey, I like it, Lumpy. Good call. And look, you ran into a buzzsaw on Leany, but you positioned yourself well in the tournament. You're going to be way higher.
I got to get him a YouTube account, too. He can vote for me next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lump Man checking in. How about this? We got our first gifted membership of the show, and it took 90 minutes to get it. King Lowski making it worth it. A 10 spot of channel memberships. That is 10 raffle entries for the King, who says, I want in on the Sack Exchange theme raffle. So give it up to King Lowski for gifting a 10 spot.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money, money, money.
Damn. Craig Jones, TJK Ritta, Jose Delgado, Marco D, Big Jack 512, AJ Perez, Willis Cunningham, Connor Kelly, Scott Collins, Trilly Trill, all receiving channel memberships from the King Lowski. Update on today's Asmaniac Madness matchup. It's a blowout, folks. J-Quest 70, Pot Stirrer Ted 30. So it appears like it will be the 8C J-Quest moving on, and that will set the stage for our first round of 32 matchup in that region. Bobby Midnight and J-Quest. And there's a great storyline in that matchup. The storyline is this. J-Quest provided us with what is being called by many the hump herd around the world.
Oh no!
And now it appears like they'll do battle in the round of 32. For more on that and for more on whatever the hell might come out of his mouth, it is time.
Well, you know I can't wear my freaking hat. It's hot, my balls will sweat. Oh, look, I have a fan. I'm Bobby.
Wow, that's one of the older ones, right, Jake?
Oh, yeah, throwing it back.
I can't wear my hat because they might make my balls sweat. Hey, Jake, I'm down 3 more pounds. I'm down 44 pounds.
That's another $30 I owe Bobby Midnight at the end of this weight loss journey.
Yeah, 44 pounds I'm down since we started. Nick gave the update last night. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, there were I'm heard around the world by J-Quest. Yeah, that shut the whole parking lot, and then when I landed, yes,
they still talk about it to this day at MetLife. They're still.
And you're wearing the green version of your hat today. I'm wearing your original, right?
Yeah, you're wearing the trucker version of the hat.
Oh, okay. What is yours? The tennis.
This is yeah, it's like a snapback style hat.
Doesn't it look like tennis? Yeah, well. From now on, when Michael calls in, we'll get in it on Monday. I'll go over to his house to set it up. He doesn't have to worry about, don't hold on to anything, you know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
No, he's going to have it Monday. I'm telling you. Monday,
what type of computer did you get him?
I got him good. Well, it's not a brand new one. It's like a rebuilt, but it's $118.
It's cheap,
it's
nice.
Yeah, the Chromebook was horrible. I said, Michael, I got to get you something. So I got my taxes yesterday. That's why I gave you 25. I want Michael to want something Jets related too. And then I had to buy my own membership because I'm not a member. So I did it myself. But no,
just so you know, I put both of you in the raffle. So you have 10 chances to win with your generosity, Bobby.
Oh, really? Thank you. Appreciate that. So, well, Michael, his internet's going to be better. He doesn't need like your computers or Nick computers, He just needs a normal regular computer. So
that's smart. I have a backup laptop from like 2018 that I got for like $150 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I used that just in case.
Yeah, but this is a regular one. It has its own, it comes with its own monitor, which mine is built into the computer, so I don't need that. So, I know I love my brother. He needs something. He helps me all the time. You see him helping me all the time. I need to help him out, get a better internet. Yeah.
Nick Shine says 44.4 pounds loss, which is almost $4,000 you've earned from everyone who pledged to give you money per pound loss.
Well, I told you I'm going to keep it up. It's for my own health reasons. I was getting real bad. You saw that at the game, Jake. I couldn't even walk, because I had my toe. I could have been at the first game, but screwed it up with my toe. Then you saw me when we went to the Halloween game. It was no. And then remember what Gady said after the game?
What did he say?
It's like a scene from the Longest Yard. Remember when we're leaving the stadium?
Yeah.
I cracked up about that. That made me happy. But now look at me. I'm feeling good. I'm looking sexy. I'm feeling good.
Would you say you're sexy and you know it?
He's sexy and you know it. Sexy and you know it. Or you could sing the other song. I'm too, what's that crazy Fred? What's that guy's name? I'm a little on the catwalk. On the catwalk. I do my little twist on the catwalk. What's that song called? Drop Dead Fred? Yeah, that's it. Drop Dead Fred. Yeah, that's what I like. So I'm in a good mood. Tuesday's gonna be a good day. I get the fun. I will have a job Tuesday. I promise.
Guaranteed.
What?
Guaranteed.
I hope so. You know, they'll have you probably go. They give you jobs and then you go to people. See, that was on like different world.
Get one.
Oh, I'm proud. I feel good about myself.
All right. Well, it's all good news, Bobby, and you're on to the round of 32. What are your early thoughts on likely facing Jake West?
Well, it could be what am I 1 and he's 8?
Yeah,
and he's happening. The basketball usually 1 and 8 get 8 upsets once sometimes.
Yeah, we've seen 8s beat the 1 seed in the tournament plenty of times.
And like you say, he's on a roll, but that call is amazing.
I think it's going to be fascinating if you win, though, and your brother wins his matchup later and his second round matchup, and you guys meet in the Sweet 16. Will people favor the younger ascending Mikey Midnight, or will people fall back in line with an OG legend in this show, Bobby Midnight?
Well, we both know I have him beating me, and I think you have him beating me too. So Mikey's
but I have your brother winning the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I do. I have him being Charles Gorman.
The Charles Gorman.
The Charles Gorman. Number 1, Charles Gorman. What is he called? He's the number one
overall seed. Yeah.
Yeah, overall seed. He's a great caller. I'm telling you. I was getting a little nervous yesterday at the beginning. No trust. I was getting a little nervous. I'm being honest. The 2 months with having a period, that did not help me at all.
Yeah, no, it definitely
Especially saying I hate Santa Claus, and poor David Tia took it out on him.
I know. Who hates Santa Claus?
Then we were battling 1-1. Remember when I went against you on, I thought you were ending the show, so I went up against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay tuned. After the show, I'm going live at the Jake Show. Bobby, the legend of Bobby Midnight. So if you want to come over, give me some subs. I know. Well, Charles does it too. So let me do it so I could get some more subs. I'm up to 346 so far now. So a little bit more to 500, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bobby Midnight.
Well, I'm getting really freaking pissed. I thought I saw Gary's pretty wife. I need to get some sleep. I'm happy.
Hey, Gary. You're on mute, Gary. Still can't hear you.
Yeah, I usually wait till I hear my intro and then I pause what I'm doing. But you just went straight to me.
Well, I did a little transition there. I did a little play on the Bobby confusing you for your wife and then went right to you.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Gary's wife? Hi, Gary's wife. Oh, there she is. Very good looking.
I'll still never quite understand how he thought I was my wife, but let's move on from that. Let's never speak about that again. So I like the optimism that Jet fans have. I just can't get myself there.
Some Jet fans, not
some
all.
Jet fans. I just can't. Last year I was optimistic as can be. I just can't get myself there. I look at this team and I say 6-11. Like I don't know. I don't have any good feelings about this team. Like last year when I picked them to win 13 games. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I got nothing, Jake. And then Neil calling in about Tyler Shuck. I want to put this in perspective. Tyler Shuck is the same age as Wilson and Fields. How do you think Zach Wilson and Justin Fields would do if you put them in college right now? They'd probably dominate, right?
I would imagine so.
He's 25, 26, whatever he is, playing against 19-year-olds. He's older a year older than Zion Williamson. If you put Zion Williamson in the NCAA tournament right now, he'd probably drop 70, right? Like, guys, he's not playing. It's not a fair fight. He's 25 playing against 19, 20-year-olds. It's ridiculous. In college, stop me when you've heard of one of these names. He's lost his jobs to Donovan Smith, Anthony Brown, and Baron Morton. These are guys that his coaches said they're better than you. That doesn't mean he sucks, but that and the fact that he's 25, I don't understand why he's even getting looked at. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but I gave you 3 guys who will never play in the NFL, who most of those guys lost it. Baron Morton might make the NFL, but the other 2 guys, you never heard of them. Donovan Smith went to the University of Houston. That's where he transferred, and he didn't start there. He took Tyler Shirk's job at Texas Tech. I don't understand.
Tyler Shuck got hurt a lot in college. That was the issue with him. I think he had like 3 injuries that ended his season. That's why he was in college for so long, because he had all the COVID year, redshirt years, injury year.
The COVID year, the redshirt year, and then what? Two injury? I mean, that's 2 injury years. It must be 2.
Yeah, I think he had at least 1. That's why he's 25 and in college.
He was there forever, and he was never really that good. He kept losing his job to guys you've never heard of. Look, I don't understand where this came from. It's like the most mind-blowing thing I'd ever heard in my life. I guess he looks the part, like he's 6'5", he's big, he's strong, he's not any good at football. Like, I think that matters a little bit. And Jay Quest is going to be tough to beat, man. Not to change the subject, but Jay Quest coming up that call. I'm not saying he's going to beat Bobby, but it just seems like the pieces are in motion for a major upset in the second round, which could really shake things up. Because I think everybody had Mikey and Bobby in the Sweet 16, right?
Most people had Mikey and Bobby, I would say. Look, Jay Quest is rolling right now. You got to remember, too, he's in a spot where he's playing his best ball at the right time. You know, he had an epic video on Selection Sunday that a lot of people saw. We know there's a thing called recency bias. And that prank call to Chris McMonagle, I know all the references go over Joe B's head because he's not a regular viewer of this show, but that's epic if you watch the show, and it's called ASMANIAC Madness, and he referenced a ton of Asmaniacs in that call and was so smooth with it.
It's so smooth. It's just effortless. It's like he's actually Xavier has Bobby Midnight and whatever else he said, Lane Train. For him, the tournament comes at just the right time because it comes during all the draft talk that we have. And that's obviously his forte. 2 years in a row is him calling up and doing prank calls. That prank call that he did to Chris McMonagle early in the week may be the greatest prank call of all time. Like, it's on a short list of all-time great prank calls.
Now, to be fair, though, and Derek the Cop makes a great point here, Bobby has also prank called, too. So maybe Bobby against Jay Quest needs to get on the Fan or ESPN New York and prank call one of their hosts and see if he could remind people of that.
I was going to suggest that to him. His prank calls last year were on the money. But this call to Jay Quest is so good. If Bobby fumbles his call, it could be the tournament for him. Like, it's a make or break call. If you get it, you have to get it right. You can't mess up this. Jay Quest is so good. If you fumble the call, it could really hurt you in the tournament. If you do it, I'm not saying don't. It's a high risk. If you fumble the call, it's going to hurt you because you're going to be compared to Jay Quest, whose call is legendary.
It is true.
The last thing on Fields is this is actually my point. If we were going to not keep Rodgers and we're going to go get one of your mid-level quarterbacks, I guess Fields is the one I would want. I will give them that. Like, if you were going to give me the name.
What happened to your StreamYard is so annoying. Gary, you're back. That's an issue on my end.
If you were going to give me one of these mid quarterbacks, you say, Gary, Rodgers is gone. You have to take one of these mid quarterbacks. I would probably take Fields. Like, if you said the field is Mariota, Danny Dimes, Aaron, I don't know, whoever else you want to put in there, Russell Wilson, I'd probably just roll the dice with Fields, right? So that being said, when Buffalo Jet fan called it pick your mid, I guess the mid I would have picked was Fields. So I think they at least got that right.
Well, because it's an obvious pick because he's 26, has ran for 1,100 yards in a season as a quarterback. Like, that's an elite trait he has. Now,
you would take Fields over Danny Dimes, right? Like any day of the week,
yes,
Fields or Dimes.
I think Fields is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
His second year in the league was pretty good. Like if you go look at his second year, I know he threw the ball okay, but he ran the ball really well. His second year was what I would look at. It's like, okay, there's a lot of potential here. And he wasn't playing terribly. Like he's never really played terribly outside of his first year. His second year, his third year in Pittsburgh, awful. He did he showed you things.
Gary, what's up with the internet in Texas today, man? Jeez.
What's going on with is my internet bad?
Your internet is making you sound like a robot.
For real?
It just was, yeah. Now you're back. You're not as clear as you normally are, though. Your picture is a little blurry.
Interesting. Let me know. I'll
call back later, Gary. Look, if you're betting on a young quarterback that has a chance to be the guy, Fields was the pick. And it's a 1-year investment. I know people will be like, $40 million. It's $30 million guaranteed. $15 million of that 30 is a signing bonus. His cap hit this year is like $5 million. They put void years in it to spread it out. It's a 1-year commitment. Now, could he be on the team for the second year of the deal? Yeah, because he could be the backup to the quarterback you take in round 1 if it doesn't work out with Fields. But this is Fields' last chance to be the guy somewhere. Like, he's not going to get another opportunity to start in the league again if this doesn't work. So he's going to be highly incentivized, highly motivated to prove he could be the guy, right? Sam Darnold got his chance. He took advantage. Baker got his chance. He took advantage. Plenty of guys get their chance and they don't, and they're backups in the league for a reason. We'll see if Fields could determine if he's a starter in this league or is he a backup. And if he's a backup, at least he's a high-end backup. He showed you that last year. He's 4-2. Mother effing Chew is gifted a channel membership.
You know, thinking is overrated.
But gifting a channel membership is not. Sluggo is in the raffle for one. Or excuse me, Chew's in the raffle for one, and Sluggo is the recipient of the membership. Let's see if the Wi-Fi in a different country across the globe is better than the Wi-Fi in Gary's home in Texas. Jason in Jerusalem is up next. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jake. You're getting some great calls today. Neil with a great call. Luppy. It was really nice to hear. Great hearing it. I'm getting messed up here with the time change. It's only a 6-hour difference now.
Wow,
So
okay.
Yeah.
So what was for dinner tonight?
Haven't had it yet.
Okay.
Haven't figured out what I'm going to do. Taking in the chat, give me some suggestions as to what I should eat. Mac?
Have you started with any matzah yet ahead of Passover?
Yeah, I have, but not for a good reason. Just to get rid of the old stuff, like a little
Okay.
bite here or there. You want it? I'll ship it to you.
I love matzah. A lot of people don't. I've always been a matzah guy.
All right. I'm actually coming to New York at the end of March, beginning of April. Maybe
Oh,
I
very
could
nice.
be on the island. You're not doing a live meetup or anything like that, are you?
I'm doing a Knicks meetup next week. I don't know if you're here on March 22nd, but we're doing a
No,
pregame
the
hangout.
31st.
Okay, yep. So that wouldn't work then.
Okay. McAfee just retweeted Rodgers' comment about loving Tomlin back before a game in 2021. I don't know what to make of that.
I think he's going to go to Pittsburgh. I mean, if we assume both Pittsburgh and Giants are the two teams in on him, Pittsburgh is a way better situation for him to win than the Giants, who are desperate and don't have the roster to necessarily win.
The only reason he would go to the Giants would be to give the Jets the middle finger.
And he wouldn't have to move if he doesn't feel like having to move. He gets to stay. It's basically like playing for the Jets, but
Well, you're assuming that he's kept whatever he has in the region, as opposed to giving it up already. I mean, his real home is on the West Coast.
Correct, but he
Obviously,
still owns his home in Jersey.
Oh, he hasn't sold it yet or anything.
He
I
hasn't
haven't
sold it.
been following that. But I have full confidence in Pittsburgh going 9 or 10 wins, even with Rodgers and losing in the first round.
Maybe, but he does lift their ceiling because I do think Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin for a year raises their ceiling than what, Russell Wilson would be for another year.
Right, but I definitely see the Giants overpaying because they're betting that Rodgers could keep their jobs.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. I don't think money matters to Rodgers with this. Like, I think he would take less to go to a better team because he wants to win.
I agree.
He's
Probably
made more
right,
money
but then
than any active NFL player in the history of football. I don't think he's money motivated at this stage of his career. He took a $35 million pay cut when he signed with the Jets.
but yet we still could have ego involved of giving the Jets the middle finger. I mean, I definitely could see that happening. Do I expect
But
it?
you know
No.
what? He could give the Jets the middle finger by playing on a team in the conference that plays the Jets next year. He'll get the Jets week 1 on Monday Night Football. Stick it to them then.
That's not the same. I mean, the Jets always kept the impression of the little brother in terms of the Giants. I mean, yeah, even as a hardcore Jets fan, I'm willing to say that that's always been in the impression since they moved out to the Meadowlands.
Sure, I get that, but I don't think it should be about sticking it to the Jets. It should be go to the team with the best coach, the best chance to win. They added DK Metcalf. They have Mike Tomlin. They have real players on that defense. They're good every year without great quarterback play. Like, to me, that would be the move.
Agreed, but it doesn't always work that way. I mean, that's not necessarily how decisions are made. But
yeah,
getting
I
to
get
the
it.
point that
But if you ask me where I think he goes to Pittsburgh.
Right. Getting to the point that I wanted to make, how much should we expect the team to look at comp picks before they make a free agent signing? For example, last year they lost Huff, and they could have gotten a fourth rounder this year because they lost Bryce Huff. And because they signed Tyrod Taylor and Javon Kinlaw, they ended up not getting a pick for him. Currently, they're slated to get a 4th and a 7th in terms of the comp pick selections, and whatever they're going to get because of Conklin leaving. So, should that prohibit the Jets from signing other players and taking the picks, or should we just say get the best roster this year? I mean, how much are we looking future, and how much should we give a focus for the comp picks, knowing that this is not going to be, we're admitting it. We're not looking at this being more of a 5-6 win year this year. Anything else is anything better is gravy. And we'd love it. We'd love to make the playoffs, but we're not necessarily expecting it.
I think it's part of the conversation for sure. And this is not a great free agent class, so I don't feel like you need to just spend crazy anyway. Last year it didn't matter about comp picks because you were all in the try and win. You had a 1-year window. So I think it's a part of the conversation, but I don't think that the Jets are not going to sign someone because they're worried about not getting a potential comp pick. Like, I think if they believe in some of these guys that are out there, they'll sign them.
Okay. I mean, but becomes a difference. For example, Evan Ingram, you don't get a comp pick because he's a release, as opposed to if you sign an Austin Hooper, who is a free agent.
Right. So I would lean with the guys who are released that don't impact the comp pick formula, if possible.
Right. And so as we sit here and go, why didn't the Jets sign this guy? Why didn't the Jets sign that guy? I mean, I remember it was a few years ago, people asked, why did the Falcons sign Marcus Mariota? They could have waited 5 weeks and gotten themselves a 4th or 5th round pick. If you lose a guy who's a 4th, but you sign a 7th, and you lose one and gain one, you still lose the 4th. Because it's who you lost and who you gained. So if it's 4 and 4, they cancel each other out. Even if the people who you've lost are a lot higher ranked than the people who you've signed. I don't know if you're looking at that now in terms of, stuff like that. But hopefully we have a GM that focuses on that.
I think it's important. The Ravens do it every year, right? They get all these extra comp picks, and then you got to pick good players in the draft too. So hopefully Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn draft good players.
Right. Absolutely.
John Izek had all those comp picks too. Remember that? The Izek 12, and they sucked.
Oh God, the stuff of nightmares. Guy refused to make a trade, but
no trades. All these extra picks. They had 12 picks, a lot of them being the comp picks because they let everyone walk when he first got there because they were tearing it down. Rex still won 8 games with that team, which was insane when you think back to it.
Milner.
Yeah. I mean, you got to draft well.
The only guy that came out of that draft was Enunwa, and they actually released him and re-signed him.
Correct.
He didn't make the opening cuts, which was amazing.
And then he unfortunately couldn't stay healthy. He was a good player, though.
They should never have given him that contract. He had a neck injury from beforehand. That was McCagnon's major mess up. And then Douglas finds him for not going to the training and stuff like that. Douglas and Gase. So I think the first thing Douglas did as a GM, he finds him for not seeing the training staff when everybody knew his career was over because of health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, great way to endear yourself to the players by finding people who are injured and not going to be playing football again because they're not coming into the stadium, to the training facilities.
Can we win games? That's it.
Oh, I don't know. Can they? I hope they can. I'm happy with Fields, and all we need is what? One tackle, then a whole new defense.
Yeah, receiver and tight end, 2 of them. Good call, Jason. Enjoy dinner. All right. Someone wrote French dip. I think it was Luppy. I thought that was a good suggestion. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your fantastic telephone calls. Hey, Beast, you up?
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm trying to catch up on some siesta.
You taking a nap, Beast?
Yeah, I was 6. I had to order the doctor to get my blood work in. I was just playing a little bit of basketball. And if the Knicks don't win this year, I'm very, very pissed off. We stuck for so long. And the one guy, Joe, I like his points. We've sucked for 60 years, and we keep flushing ourselves down the toilet like really bad toilet paper.
Now, I muted Beast's mic because it's just brutal. But we're basking in the glory of Beast sleeping right now. We're watching this all together. Greatness on full display. Now, Beast, if you fix your mic, because it might not actually be your Wi-Fi, it might be the mic from your phone. Maybe you should do what Bobby Midnight did and buy a computer online for $118. And you can use that when you call in. But it's great to see you slumbering, Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, Beastbreaker 666. Beastbreaker! Thank you, Beast. Mother effing... did I shout out? I think I did. Henny says it's kind of embarrassing how they keep dwelling on Rodgers. Henny, find a different show, bro. All right? We are going to discuss Aaron Rodgers on a Jet YouTube show. You might not like it. You might be thrilled they moved on from the guy. But I promise you, I'm going to continue to talk about a Hall of Fame quarterback that played for the Jets, that threw 28 touchdowns this past year, and had the best quarterback season any Jet has had in a decade. I'm going to continue to talk about it. So if you don't want me to talk about it, that's fine. You don't have to watch. The show is free. But Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers impacts the Jets. It does. They play the Jets this year. And Fields would not be available in the first place had they kept him in Pittsburgh, where Rodgers is likely ending up. And if he goes to the Giants, we're going to talk about it because they play in the same stadium as the Jets. So you might not like it, but we're going to continue to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's how it goes. Don't tell a fan base how to feel when probably half the fan base wanted the Jets to keep the guy for another year. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lupp Man has come through for the people. Thank you very much, Luppy. Let's find out who got Luppy's membership.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
The following 5 people are now channel members. Matthew Gordon. And I want to give a shout out to Matthew Gordon. He earned himself 10 raffle entries yesterday. He signed up for the Patreon. He was a month-to-month payer. He upgraded to the year, and he's now in the raffle for 10 plus. He saved 15% by signing up for the Patreon for a full year. Ernesto Hermasi, Lado P, TJ, and Keith all just received channel memberships. Venom AD, the anti-Rodgers people are the same people who spit out stats that say he sucked but provide zero context. Yeah, no one's saying he was great, but he was the best option. That's the whole point. And you bring Devontae back, and now they don't have any receivers besides Garrett. And we have a project at quarterback. I hope Fields is good, but I don't know. Rodgers is so bad that Hall of Fame coach is probably going to sign him here. Funny how that works. And you just know if he goes to Pittsburgh, it's Monday Night Football week 1 this year. You just know it's coming. Jersey Jet is next. Hey, Jersey Jet.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? I can't
you,
hear
man?
you. I don't know why. You can hear me?
I hear you, Jersey Jet. What do you got for
All
us?
right, I'm out here at the Rutgers Pro Day. I'm trying to run into some Jet personnel and find out who they looking at. I hope they're looking at Holland Pierce, 6'8", 344. He's a beast of a man. And we could use him in the late rounds, or if you don't get drafted, pick him up in free agency. I mean, as an unrestricted. He's been coached by Pat Flaherty. He's a 30-year NFL coach with 2 Super Bowl rings. And he knows how to coach O-linemen, man. So I hope they're out here looking at him for real. And I'm Joe Benigno. I'm gonna start calling him Joey Buzzkill because I don't know. He was bringing some crazy energy today, man. I wasn't feeling it. I was in a good mood, and Joey came on. I started getting depressed. So I said, let me come out here to RU and see who the Jets looking at. I thought it was going to be in the stadium, but I guess they moved it in a bubble over here because it's kind of chilly outside. So I'm going to try to find out where they're at, and if I find somebody, I'm going to hit you back.
All right, get him on the show, Jersey Jet. We'll talk to some Jet scouts.
I can't even hear you, Jake.
Jersey Jet, I appreciate it, man. Love the commitment to your school, Rutgers, and your football team, the Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the line right now and what could be a victory speech as he is currently up 71-29 in the round of 64 Butter Region matchup is the 8th seed in the region, Jay Quest. Hello, Jay Quest.
What's up, Jake? How you doing?
Jay Quest, how are you, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Going for my daily walk, trying to get my 15,000 steps in for the day. And it's doing that right now.
You look great, by the way, man. I can see it in your face how much weight you've lost.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, man. I just walked to the doctor. So I was at the doctor's office actually most of the time you were on the show. I had a little secondhand embarrassment watching Ted do a speech today. I was a little cringe, but I love you. You're the man. And just real quick, Jet point. You know, I love the ASMANIAC tournament, but so everyone's like busting our chops. A lot of these guys, and like even McMonagle. Oh, we got Justin Fields. It ain't gonna work out. But when guys take our guys and it works out, we get laughed at.
Right.
Why can't we maybe have that one day where we get a guy that sucks for another team and comes to us, like a Vinny Testaverde and Fitzpatrick had that one year? Like, why can't that be us for a change? Like, I'm all in on Fields. Who knows it's going to work out, you know, but I'm feeling it, though, man. I'm excited for the season. I know you guys are saying 5 wins. Who knows? We don't really know, right? We thought, 10, 12 wins. I lost $1,000 betting on those assholes, thinking they would win a lot of games, and they didn't. They let us down. So why not this year? Something else. We expect shit, and then we get 10 games, then we get a playoff game. That drought ends. That's what I'm hoping for, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I totally get what you're saying. I'm rooting like hell for Justin Fields. Is it likely to work? Probably not, but it has more of a chance to work than the other options. So, like, you're dealt the hand you're dealt as fans. I think they made a logical decision once they decided to move on from Rodgers, which we could debate, but it's what they did. And now, Fields is the guy. Hopefully he's awesome, and it doesn't stop them from still going quarterback this year and next year if it doesn't work out. So there's at least some options now.
And, let him go to the Steelers. Let's go opening day, Monday Night Football, Jets Steelers. And let Aaron Glenn coach us to a victory, something we didn't have the last couple of years. Why not? And then everyone's going to feel happy, right? We finally got the win that we thought we weren't going to get. So let's take that. Fuck Rodgers, man. Let him go to the Steelers. Glenn's going to coach us up. I grew up watching Aaron Glenn. You know, he was really one of the first drafts I watched live when we drafted him in '94 out of Texas A&M. I fucking love that guy, man. And listen, I love the Jets. Bobby's a goddamn Giant fan. I love Bobby, but he's a goddamn Giant fan, baby. Okay? Jets. Let's go, baby. I love the fucking Jets. I love the show, Jake. I love the chat. Fuck off, Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Quest calling his shot at Bobby Midnight. Round of 32. Man, M. Morris nails it. Coaching being amazing is our only hope. That's how the Steelers are good every year without having a real quarterback since Roethlisberger retired. You know, if Aaron Glenn's awesome, then yeah, we're going to have a season. But it's just, you know, we don't know. We don't know. But that's why we watch sports, because it's not scripted. It's a reality show. It's the ultimate reality show. No one had the Vikings winning 14 games this year. So, like, there's your hope. Where's Bobby Midnight to respond to that, by the way? I'm shocked I don't have Bobby on hold going. All right, show's starting to wind down here. Last chance to get in on a raffle entry during the show or get your super chat read on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we need an up-close and personal view on the Jets now.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hello, Jake.
David, how are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'd just like to make a comment, Joe Benigno and every other caller that's talked nice about Aaron Rodgers. It never gets old for me. As a matter of fact, I had a dream last night that started out good but became a nightmare. Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers. First game at MetLife Monday night. It's a hard-fought game. You know, the country's watching, and the Jets win on a kick. So then they go through the year, both teams, and I don't know if it would be possible, but don't the two teams meet in the playoffs, and it's at MetLife, and it's a hard-fought game, and the Jets lose on a kick? That would be our luck.
It would be. Now, hopefully, we could actually defy the odds and not allow Rodgers to rip us apart in that first game. Because that, to me, is where this is headed. If he signs with Pittsburgh, week 1, Jets Steelers, I mean, take it to the bank. ESPN's getting that game on Monday night.
Yeah, and that you know, honestly, Jake, you know, anybody that loves NFL football and, you know, you're not a Steelers fan or a Jets fan, it's still such a great storyline, and where the ratings would be through the roof, I believe.
100%. I mean, there's so much intrigue early because it's like the Jets are an unknown with Aaron Glenn and Justin Fields. It's not even just like we're focused on the Rodgers angle. Fields against Pittsburgh too is also a big storyline in that game. That's why it's a no-brainer to put in primetime.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And you know, your caller Hennessy, not, you know, you not want to talk about Rodgers. I'm opposite. Like I said, he'll always be a Jet in my heart, and you know, it never gets old for me.
David, you're the man.
Thank you, sir. I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David T, everybody. David T. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Now, Mikey Midnight, I see you there, bud, but there's no camera for you. I don't even know if we could get you on right now. Call back, Mikey. We'll squeeze you in at the buzzer here. Ladies and gentlemen, he had bad Wi-Fi that interrupted his first call. But he has returned to bless us with more whatever might come out of his mouth.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
Now you look a lot better.
All right. Is this better?
Yeah.
All right. I just I called to test the system. That was all. I appreciate you, buddy. I don't really have anything. I just wanted to make sure it was working well.
I appreciate you using the show as your real life guinea pig to test things out.
I tried to. I sent the text to my wife to have her jump onto my stream that I have scheduled, but she hasn't read it yet. She hasn't seen it, so I'm going live in 15 minutes. I wanted to make sure it's working.
Go eat some butter, all right?
All right, Jake. I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me use your show as a testing site. I know your 40,000 subs must really like that, so I do appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gary.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some great news for everyone who's out there watching the show live. The good news is Mikey Midnight is called back. The bad news is we have no idea if it's going to work.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey.
Jake, can you hear me?
We hear you, Mikey, but we can't see you.
Jake, how you doing, brother? You hear me?
What's
you
up,
hear
Mikey?
me? Yeah? You hear me, Jake? Yeah, Jake.
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Jets, yeah. Go, Jets, go. Wait a minute. I want to say shout out to Allie, my friend, you know? Yeah, Allie's a good guy, everybody. To make sure to thank him for me. He's awesome, you know that? I know you could hear me. Well, I don't know if you could hear me, actually. But I still, we go get Tim Patrick on St. Patrick's Day on the Detroit Lions. We go get him so bad. Yeah, we go do it again. Yeah, I'll do it again. We go do it. Tim Patrick is coming to the Jets. Everybody say, yeah, shout to the Jets. T-E-T-S, Jets.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey in a black darkness retreat, it appears. I'll tell you what, Mikey's a great caller regardless of whether or not we could see him or not, because his voice just provides hope and joy and energy. Leanie writes in, my granddaughter is laughing at say to stop at the songs. I guess she's not a fan. Well, I guess she hasn't heard the chicken and pasta song then, Leanie. This is a big hit with children. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for Leanie's granddaughter.
Chicken doesn't go with pasta. Don't you know it's disgusting? Chicken can't go with pasta. Why? Because of the texture. Instead, go get yourself pizza at the closest Shell gas station, cause chicken don't go with pasta. I just discovered dogs are pets.
See how that one plays, Leanie. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. Mikey. Oh, now we can't hear him, but we can see him. You got to be kidding me. See? As long as we can either hear him or see him, it's still a great call. We only get one. We can't get both. We can only get either we see him or we hear him. Now we're silent dancing here, baby. Imagine to the podcast listeners right now being like, what's happening? No one's talking. Gotta get to YouTube, you podcast listeners. But the show is available on Apple or Spotify by typing in Jake Asman Show. Yep. I agree, Mikey. I don't know what you're saying, but I agree with it. Good call by Mikey there. Excellent call. All right. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Hit the like button on your way out of here. As Maniac Madness will continue this afternoon, but first, let's make it official. J Quest taking on NY Jets, Florida pot stirrer Ted. And ladies and gentlemen, voting is officially closed, which means it's time to declare a winner. With over 650 votes cast, the winner and moving on to the round of 32 in the Butter region in the 8-9 is in fact the 8 seed, J Quest, who defeats pot stirrer Ted 70-29. The official vote tally is 654 for your record keeping. Congratulations to J Quest. He earned it. This afternoon, Mikey Midnight will be in action against Dre. Mikey's looking to start his run. Mikey, are you ready?
Yeah,
we hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah. We got go get Patrick. Tim Patrick's gonna be on March 17th. We go rock the house with Patrick on St. Patrick's Day. We go beat Aaron Rodgers against Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers go get down on it. Get down on it. We go sack Aaron Rodgers like 15 times in the game.
Yeah.
And he's going to retire after the first game. The first game, opening Monday night, Aaron Rodgers be retired. He's going to play one game, and he got 4 down. I said, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it, coach. Put me in coach spot. The Jets going to win, right?
Hey, Mikey, tell everyone to vote for you today. Tell them why.
Hey, everybody vote for me. I couldn't meet Dr. Dre. I wanted to meet him. I said,
Dr. Dre.
I like him because he's a homeboy. I'm a homeboy. He's a Jet fan, too, like he said. That's been Patrick. You know who we should get, too?
Who?
The Warren guy, the tight end.
Yeah.
And the next round, we should get the Oregon Ducks offensive line. 315 pounds. Remember how nasty all the running backs will be? We got Brees Hall. We got, what's that other guy we like? Brees Hall, right? What was the other guy's name?
Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis.
Yeah, we got 3. The guys go running like crazy. Mash Mouth football is back for the Jets. Mash Mouth football, that's what I like. That's what the Raiders did one time. Mash Mouth, everybody. So get ready for the ride. Put your seatbelts on. Here comes the new machine. And now Coach Joe Benigno, don't give up. This guy, Justin Fields, he won a championship in college. And he went to Chicago Bears, a sucky team. That's a sucky team. And then he went to Pittsburgh, and he's 4-2. And you put Russell in, he sucked too, man. He lost that Super Bowl against the stupid Patriots. I got to see that game in that game. I was going for Russell, but he won. He screwed that game up. Pete Carroll screwed that game up.
Mikey, you're the man. All right. Good luck this afternoon. I don't think you'll need it though.
Yeah. What time is that? What time was that?
5 o'clock is my second show today. 5 p.m. Eastern.
I won't be there.
It's okay. Don't worry. You made your pitch now, and your brother will keep you updated.
Yeah, and then I thank Bobby for giving me a computer. I thought it was gonna be over $1,000. It's only $118.
Yeah.
I pay him back later. When I get the money, I pay him back.
I love it. Mikey, you're the man. Go Jets.
Let's go to the Jets game against Pittsburgh. We go rock, baby.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Yes, Maniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. Who's the king? Average you.
I'm telling you, if he does go to Pittsburgh, Rodgers, I think it's going to be opening night. That makes too much sense for the NFL. On that note, great show. Thank you to everyone. I got to run. Doing a radio hit in Washington, D.C. on one of their stations there in a few minutes. They want to ask me for my thoughts on the Javon Kinlaw signing. I got some thoughts on that for the listeners of Washington, D.C., all the commie fans out there. Anyway, thank you to everyone who watched. Congrats to Jay Quest. A couple super chats here I saw that came in at the end, including one from Jay Quest. Thanking everyone who voted for him. Luppy made a great point. Dre, he's going to die. Sorry, Dre. Love you. Yep. I mean, Dre might have been talking about himself in this matchup against Mikey later, running into an absolute buzzsaw in that 5-12. Looking forward to it. Thank you to everyone who tunes in, watches the show. You guys are awesome. Join the Patreon for bonus content. If you're going to the Knicks game with me next week, I posted some information that is pertinent to that. So check your email or the Discord for those of you who bought tickets to the ASMANIAC Knicks game next week at the Garden. All right, I'm done talking. Thank you all. Go Jets, everyone. Jets, 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 Jets.
My mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. I can't. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom, meatloaf.
And Jet fans are clueless. I mean, they're dopes. They don't know anything. This is a really good hire. Gase is a great coach. Gase is a great coach. Okay, Adam Gase is Kyle Shanahan before Kyle Shanahan. Gase is a great coach.